We're going to make it work. Just gonna have to do. Warren, what's going on? All right. All right, this may officially be the worst live of all time. I'll explain in a minute. All right, so got that. Let's see if I can get my. I can hear myself talking in the other room. That sounds terrible. All right, we got lights. Who knew? And close the door. All right. I guess lastly, let me get. Let's move this over here. All right, it's gonna have to do. It's not the best stream by any stretch of the imagination. But we're going with it. All right, let's roll. We're making comics. Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's terrible. Okay. Art files, Bello Bear, episodes, archive. RD 25? Let me pull this up. $25, yeah, 26, okay. Right now I'm confused. First order. Did I set this one up already? No, that's first order too. Okay. All right. Dollar up. Okay, that's okay. Now I'm catching up. Episode 26, dollar up. Rename, paste. Rename, paste. Oh, that's right. Okay. Is this open still? No, it is not. I wonder how the audio is on this thing. Streaming. Let's take a look just to see. What the? Let's take a look just to see. Okay. This is a terrible stream. What's up, Jackie? How are you? So I gotta apologize in advance for a really terrible stream quality. Holy crap! Oh, Jackie's, you're out of here. What's going on? Hello, everybody. Okay, let's get out of here. What am I doing? Do I know what I'm doing? Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Live. Monitor live. There we go. All right, we're gonna make some comics today. Hope you guys enjoy. I gotta say, thank you for the hearts. That's awesome. I gotta apologize in advance for a really, really terrible streaming quality. Holy crap. So I'm still getting the kinks worked out. So because I want to stream to both YouTube and to TikTok, which that doesn't really matter. That's not part of it. But I'm trying to stream to TikTok, but I'm on a Mac, and it causes a world of problems. I got some stuff in the works to make this thing happen, but so far it's not cooperating. And so today what I'm doing is I'm actually streaming to YouTube first, and I've got my TV in the other room with my iPhone, and I'm recording my TV. So that's why it sounds pretty terrible and probably doesn't look as good as it should either. But it'll work for now. We'll get through it. And you can still, I mean, it's not like, it's not terrible quality. So it still works. But we're making Bello. That's the whole point of all of this. Today we got to put out a new episode of Bello Bear. And so we're going to work on that right now. And then if Jude, what's going on? So I might be a little bit behind. I have my chat popped up here, and I should be able to see everybody's if you chime in with any messages and everything else, and hearts and anything like that. I should be able to see it. We're gonna find out. So bear with me. Thank you for what's up, Dominic? How are you? It's a little rough. That's, I guess, what I'm getting at. But it still works. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now is I am prepping my files to get ready to make Bello Bear. And what I do is I take my last episode and I tweak that. I tweak that with the new art and everything. So right now I'm just kind of getting my files ready. I got to update the name and all that fun stuff to the latest episode. And now we are going to start diving in. So I use two different apps. I use Adobe Illustrator. That's kind of where I create the panels with the characters and the background and all that stuff. And then I bring that into InDesign that's kind of my layout program where each panel gets placed in there, and then I do my dialogue on top of that. And just having that separation kind of makes it a little easier for me to create these things. So here we go, and let's see, what's our episode? Oh, I know what our episode is. $1 up. Video must be 1+, yes. All right, so here's my script, and we're gonna be on panel 1. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and let me get my script into the dialog boxes first. We'll start there, even though this is the art from the last episode. That's okay, this is all gonna change, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my script in there. We'll get the dialog boxes kind of set first, and then we'll come back and we'll work on the artwork for the comic panels. Let's make that one a little bigger. There we go. I got a feeling I'm gonna have to chop some of the dialogue a little bit. Some of these are really long. It's really weird. I can hear myself in the other room talking on the TV. That is very weird. All right. Family. So I'm just Joanna, sorry. Joanna, what's going on? Sorry for the terrible quality on the stream today. I'm having to jimmy rig this together, so I'm literally recording the TV in the other room, where I'm streaming to YouTube first, and then so recording the TV with my iPhone to stream to TikTok. So it's terrible, but it works. I wonder if there's another way I could do this. What if it's just cancel the stream today? I mean, it's working. All right, we'll just, you know what, we're just going with it. All right, let's keep going. I wonder if I just bring in the iPhone here. Yeah, I don't know if that's not gonna work either. All right, you know what? It is what it is. You know, as a perfectionist, as at least art-wise, to kind of jimmy rig something together like this is very, very frustrating. All right, let's see about moving that one. All right, right now I'm just getting my dialog boxes set up. Wow, okay, that one's really far. I'm gonna have to definitely cut some of my dialogue a little bit. It's really long. Good gravy. Okay, how is that long? All right, let's go back to the. We definitely gotta tweak some of our dialogue today. This is definitely out of whack. Way too long. Okay, this one's good. We're good here. So we'll tweak this a little bit, tighten up the dialogue to fit in the box better. We got Avery. Is this Avery or Bubba? Oops. Wrong one. So Bello and Bubba are the first ones. We're good there. What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official. It looks so nice and it looks fancy. It looks fancy and official. All right, we're gonna trim it that way. That'll fit a little better. What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official. All right, this one looks good too. I want to tighten this up a little bit. Take out a little bit of the kerning. Horizontally, we're going to shrink it just a little bit. It was all just to make that text fit a little better in the box. Then we got this one. It's going to be short. I think this is Avery's line, isn't it? Yeah, that one's Avery. Okay. All right, these are both so long. Family, a good fishing spot. Family, a good fishing spot. My granny's biscuit recipe. And knowing y'all got my back. Granny's biscuit recipe. Take out the my. We don't really need that. All right, that's already fitting much better. Let's squeeze a little space out of here. We'll make that fit a little better. What's up, user? I'm working on making my comics. Sorry for the terrible stream. I had a Jimmy rig stuff together. Long story. But you're basically watching me record the TV because I'm actually live streaming to YouTube as well. So I know, not ideal. I gotta get some stuff fixed and figured out, and then we'll be doing this the proper way, and it's gonna look very nice. But for now, I'm stuck doing it this way. All right, we need to shorten this line a little bit. This is just too darn long. Let's see, projects, Bello Bear. Where is? Oh, there it is. Can you shorten this line? So I use Claude to Claude AI to help me with writing stuff, and sometimes it makes it a little easier for him to help me with shortening a line instead of me sitting there trying to figure it out, and I don't want to cut this and I want to cut that, and it's just having somebody else kind of do it for me sometimes makes it easier. Oh, excuse me. What was our original? You know what though? Money comes and goes, but real treasures are love, friendship, and good food. All right, we might just go with this line. See what's going on. Sorry for the terrible quality stream today. Oh, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking in. I am really sorry for the terrible quality of stream. It's a long story, but basically I have to Jimmy rig this thing to get it to work. And I think everybody's bailing out because of the quality. You know what? Old man, what's going on? I think I might have to, I'm going to abandon the stream to TikTok just because quality-wise, it's just not very good. I am over on YouTube right now. It's a long story, but to get TikTok to work today for streaming, I'm literally streaming to YouTube and then recording my my TV with my camera or with my iPhone because I couldn't get the stream to work on TikTok. So it's a big cluster. If you want to join me and see the high quality one, if you jump over to YouTube, I know this is such an ass backwards way to do this, but jump over to YouTube and just search for Bello Bear Live. I think I'm going to shut this. I'm going to shut down the TikTok stream. What's up, Pepsi? I'm going to shut down the TikTok stream just because the quality is really terrible and it's making me mad. So. But I'm going to post, I'll make a post shortly letting you guys know where to go on YouTube. But I'm going to shut down the TT stream. All right. I'll make a post shortly. Alright, let's kill that. Let's flip this sucker around. What's up, guys? I'm sorry, man. Where's my flip camera? Flip camera. There we go. Hello, hello. What's up, guys? I'm sorry, I gotta kill that stream. I'm trying to get my streaming going, but because I'm on a Mac, it's been a royal pain in the butt to get it to work. And it just doesn't work well because I'm on a Mac. It's a whole complicated story. Oh, I forgot to grab my iPhone stand. Because I want to show you guys me making Bello Bear, making the comic book for the comic strip for today. But it's being a royal pain in the butt. So what I think I gotta do is I was trying to record it. So right now I'm streaming. I'm actually streaming live. You know, my little setup going. So I'm actually streaming live, and I'm going to streaming to YouTube, but I can't get TikTok to work properly. I'm on a Mac, and I don't know why, but they make it really difficult for some dumb reason. But hopefully I'll have a fix for that, within the next couple of days here. I had to join like a creator network and to get a stream key and all kinds of fun stuff. So if any of you guys do any of that, then you know how difficult it can be. Here, let me get the phone set up here. Back in the holster. All right. Sorry. Let me get it's on a gimbal, so it should. Whoa, that was a crazy flip. Look at that. All right. I guess I can at least talk to you guys this way. I wonder if I can add like a on-screen message. All right, I'm going to rotate you guys one more time. There we go. And let's see if I can get add like a message on here. Stickers. No, I really want to just put some text on the screen. Any idea how I can do that? Enhance. Lighting playbook. Give full camera. I should have thought about this before I started. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna leave this one on. I'm gonna talk my way through it as I'm doing it, and I'll keep mentioning that if you guys want to watch me and you actually see the screen capture and everything, and see this thing put together properly, jump over to YouTube and look for Bello Bear Live. Because this is a big cluster. I wish there was another way I could just do this without having it being such a pain in the butt. I guess I can show you guys my screens. At least that's one less step that we're doing. Let's try that. Maybe we can figure that out. Sorry for having this thing be a nightmare today. All right, let's move this. I'm gonna move my iPad over here. This is where I'm tracking the chat. Monitor live. All right, you know what? We're gonna jimmy rig this another way. Let me flip the phone. Flip camera. Woohoo! Come on, flip. There it goes. And close out of there. I'm gonna rotate you guys. I don't know if I can get this far enough away and I dropped my fan. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work. Sorry for the complete jimmy rig setup. All right, let's move that over. And slide my monitor back a little bit. Hey, we can sort of see something. Let me go pan down. All right, that's not terrible. All right, I think we're gonna go with it. Again, I apologize for the terrible quality of the stream today. Usually I just like sharing my screen with you guys, and you can see it much better. But we can kind of see what's going on. All right. All right, let's go with it. It's not terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. So right now I'm setting up the panels for today's comic. Today's comic, by the way, is called episode 26, $1 Up. And we are, right now I'm putting in the dialogue onto the page. And we'll get, we'll keep going. All right, so where was I? Oh, I was shortening this line. Yeah, this line's a little too long, this dialogue line. This one's pretty good. Here, let me finish this one. I was in the middle of getting this one kind of set up the way I want it. I'm going to squeeze a little space out of here so we can tighten up this dialogue box. And then we're going to go over to this one. This one, the dialogue's a little too long. Like I want it on 4 lines. But I get a weird line break because the word treasures is really long. So it doesn't quite fit. So what I'm going to do is, I was saying about tweaking this. I use a few different like chat AIs, chat GPT style things, or the LLM, large language models, I think it is. This is the one I've kind of landed on that I like the most. Called Claude. So if you guys do any writing, this thing can be really beneficial. Anyway, so I gave him my line, which is, you know what though? Money comes and goes, but real treasures are love, friendship, good food. Was that the whole line? Good food. Oh, and then because, and Bubba kind of finishes the line for him. He adds more to it. But it's a little long and it just doesn't fit right. You see, I get this weird line break here with the word treasures kind of messes me up. So I'm trying to shorten this to fit better in this dialogue box. And I'm using my AI buddy here. Money's temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food. That's what matters. Yeah, okay, that works pretty good. Let's just try that with up to good food. See if we get a little better line breaks. Money's temporary, bud. Love, friendship, food, and then Bubba continues the line for him. That's actually not bad. Let's see how this breaks when I go down. Money's temporary, bud. Money is only temporary. Let's go see if we can fit this to fit a little better. Money is only temporary, bud. Okay, that's not bad. Let's go with that for now. We can always come back and tweak it later. Hey, if you guys want, jump over to, I know I don't want to like get you off the platform because I want you to send me hearts and love here, but if you guys want to see the better stream of this, jump over to YouTube and do a search for Bello Bear Live. You'll get a much nicer experience with my screen capture and all that fun stuff. But otherwise, we're just going to keep going here the way it is. It's not, it's not terrible. It works. I wish it was a little better, so let's see. I wonder if my live chat is working on here. I don't think it is. Anyway, let's keep going. We will definitely do this much better next time. You know what? That actually fits good. All right, we're going to get these dialogue boxes kind of set the right way, the way I like them. When I have two characters talking to each other, I like the space in between those two boxes to be pretty narrow, because they are, they're talking to each other, and then I like to center them in the panel. And then we just, we adjust the little dialogue boxes. We're going to have to do some more adjusting because this isn't the final art yet for these panels, but you get the idea. All right, these two are just insanely long. I don't know what I was thinking. This little dollar presents everything. Dreams, partnership, us taking a crazy chance together. I couldn't do this without you both. I love you guys. It's a very nice sentence. But it's really long. There's no way I can get that to fit. So let's see if we can get... and this one too. Let's see what Claude comes up with. This dollar represents everything. Dreams, partnership, us taking crazy chances together. Chance together. I love you guys. This dollar represents our dreams, our partnership, taking this crazy chance together. You know what? I kind of like the second one. What's the third one? This represents everything. Our dreams, partnership, taking this leap together. I love you. I kind of like leap together. The dollar is everything. No. This represents our dreams, our partnership. I couldn't do this without you both. That's not bad. You know what? Let's go with this one for now. We might come back and tweak it some more. Oh, it does fit very nicely though. Focus on earning dollars faster than we framed them. Oh yeah. Okay, I do like my final line, so I might I'd be more inclined to try to save this one than the intro one. All right, let me go back. I think I need to find like another one that's even a little shorter. What about this one? This isn't bad. I like him saying I love you guys at the end. It's just kind of, you know, cheesy, schmaltzy, whatever. I don't know what the right word is, but I do like that line. So Jackson, what's up? Jackson's mama. Hello, mama. Sorry for the stream quality. TikTok is making it really hard for me to do live streaming on my Mac, where, you know, that way I can just share my screen with you and everything. So I kind of had a Jimmy rig it where I'm using my phone to record it, which is not the ideal way to do it, but it works. It works. If you want the nice clean version, obviously I love having you guys here because you can, you know, send me hearts and tap the screen and all that good stuff. But if you want to see the clean version with everything, you can jump over to YouTube and just do a search for Bello Bear Live. Otherwise, stay here. This works too. Right now, I'm working on dialogue and trying to get these to fit a little better. As you can tell, I've got these two dialogue boxes, and they are just packed, and it's just really long. So I need to really shorten these guys up. You know what? Let me go. I'm using my buddy Claude AI to help me shorten these up. How about this one? It really makes it easier for me to kind of work with this and shorten stuff up sometimes, because I'll sit there and I'll obsess about every single word. Claude is, you know, more pragmatic about it. And sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them. Okay, that's a much tighter, concise. I like that. That's a little better. I think we might have a winner here with this one, because it still gets the point across. Oh, much better. So let's shorten this a little bit. I'm going to tighten these, bring a little spacing in between the letters, and also take out, shrink it a little size-wise horizontally. That helps me fit it in the dialog box. Try to get it kind of, you know, centered in there and fitting well, so you don't have some, like, you know, crazy long word off the outside. Elevate avocado. What's going on? I love avocados. I'm working on dialogue right now. This dollar represents so much. I'm trying to shorten this up to get this to fit a little better. As you can tell, like, I mean, that's a lot of dialogue. Take out that. Represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys. All right, we're getting closer. Let me see if I can kind of squeeze some space out of this and we can get this to fit a little tighter. I think we might go with this, because I do like how cheesy it is and how just emotional Bello is. get the spacing in between there right. Whenever I have two characters talking to each other, I like to have the dialogue boxes pretty close to each other. So there we go. I wonder if I can make a. I was gonna say, I wonder if I can make a post and then pin at the top, but I don't know if that'll work. Sorry, my stream is a little Jimmy rigged together today. Recording my screen this way is not ideal. If you guys want to jump over to, obviously I want you here so you can tap the screen and send me hearts and all that fun stuff. But if you have to, jump over to YouTube and look for Bello Bear Live, and that'll give you a much better picture, and it's like a nice setup here. I'll give you a peek at it. So it looks more like that, where I'm in the top screen over here. You can see my full desktop, and it's a little nicer. But you know what? It works. It works. Where are we? Okay, so now I get my dialog boxes in here. They're all spaced out pretty well. The text fits in there pretty good. I'm gonna read through it one more time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar frame to mark the occasion. And mind you, the artwork in the background is not correct. That's gonna change. I'm just getting the dialogue set though, so I want to get that in there first. Okay, so this is gonna be Bello's gonna be over here. He made a commemorative dollar and he's hanging it on the wall, and so they're kind of having this this dialogue. Let me tighten up my dialogue boxes here. Like I said, whenever I have two characters talking to each other, I like having the dialogue boxes pretty close to each other, so that way you can visually kind of see, okay, yeah, they're talking to each other. What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official. Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money? One only a million times. It had withdrawals. That's such a cheap, good dad joke. Okay, good, maybe not the right word for it, but it is entertaining. Okay, I'm going to slide these over just a hair. You probably can't even see the details, the little detailed moves I'm making. Let's get this centered. All right, we're good there. So let's, now that we got the dialogue set up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit save, and we are gonna go into Adobe Illustrator, and this is where I make my my panels. Bello Bear was on the phone in that one. I'm gonna get rid of the phone. This is, just so you know too, this is a redo of an episode I did. I started this back at the beginning of 2025. And after I kind of got through up to about like 80 or so, I decided to go back and kind of redo some of my original ones. And on top of that, the main reason I wanted to kind of redo these is because I also started making the video version of them. Because of the video, so now I'm going back and I'm like editing some of my original ones because they're a little rough. I mean, even the art in this is different from how it is now, so it's definitely gotten better. But we can certainly use, let me see, layers. We are going to go ahead and use this art from my last version. So we get this pasted in here. Our TV is going to have to move. Wow, I had that like way over in the other episodes. We'll go ahead and delete this Bello. We don't need him there. We're going to have Avery and Bubba watching him hang this picture up. That looks pretty good. Let's see how that, I'm going to go ahead and just hit save. Oh, and I got to number these. Let me close out of there because I need to change the numbering. What I do is I have a panel for each. I don't have. Okay, I got to do a few things. I like to have a separate file for each panel for the artwork. Let's update this, rename. Okay, now we're gonna go back. We're gonna open up that, or I'm gonna rename this first one because this is gonna be episode 26, dollar up, the title, and then I add a 1 to it. So this is panel 1 basically is what that's telling me. So we'll go ahead and open that up again. There we go. And now, so what I do is I work on, this is Adobe Illustrator, and then I use this to build the individual panels and the characters and move them around. It's a nice way for me to organize one, setting up the panel compared to the layout of the four panels. So what I do is basically, this is InDesign, Adobe InDesign, another Adobe product, because I've been doing graphic arts and marketing for years and years and years. I use these same apps to develop my my art, and it works out really well. I get a good flow for what I'm doing. Oh, I need to go back and I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these. These are, so I set up, if you're wondering, so I set up my 4-panel comic first up here. This is like the traditional, 4-panel comic. I export it as a picture and go ahead and then post that onto TikTok and a boatload of other socials. And then from there, I create, this is 1080 wide by 1920 tall, and I create the video version based on these panels, adding the dialogue and the sound effects and what have you. Anyway, this is all from the last episode. This will make a lot more sense once I get through this, you'll see. But I delete all of these, and these are my just outro ones that always stay there, so I'm not going to delete those. Intro, outro. So now we're going to go ahead and click on that first one, and I'm going to add panel 1. So I'll go to Bello Bear, episodes, archive, and dollar up. And go ahead and select the panel 1. And we're going to drop that in there. And there we go. I think I'm going to need to figure out a way to tighten this up a little bit. I think Bubba's going to have to move over. Oh, let me make sure my background is locked. I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see a little better. So I'm going to move Avery, or Bubba, I'm going to move him over about right there. Avery can slide over too, move the cash register over. And then, oh, let me double check one thing. What a great idea, Bello. Hey, let me double check who's talking. Okay, it's Bubba. So here's my script, by the way. I write my script in the Apple Notes app, and then bring it into my graphics program afterwards. So let's move over. So it's going to be Bubba and Bello talking. I'm going to slide Avery over just a little more, I think, right about there. Let's hit save. And then we can update in my InDesign, in my layout program, we can update this one. So we're gonna have, I am gonna move even though I like having my dialogue boxes close together when two characters are kind of talking to each other, since they're so far apart in this frame, I am gonna move that over. And I think I need to move over Bello some more. He's really far over. Let's go ahead and slide him over. And then I'm going to move my TV a little bit too, I think. That we're kind of more focused on Bello hanging up the dollar. All right, let's save that, and that'll pop it up. That'll update it here in the layout program with the dialogue. Yeah, that's a lot better. I'm going to slide Bubba's dialogue over a little bit. Bello's dialogue can move over too. Oops. And to grab one of those, slide that over just a hair. And slide that over a little bit. All right, that's not too bad. Slide the dialogue triangle over so it's closer to Bubba or Bello. That one can slide over. And there we go. We got basically panel 1 is ready. All right, grabbing a sip of water here. So that's good. Let me bring over my waters. Excuse me. All right, so panel 1 looking pretty good. We'll come back and tweak this as we need to. Oh, you know what? I do need to tweak one thing. Excuse me. I noticed Avery's facing the wrong way. I'm going to zoom in. So if you look here, his center leaf, this is essentially his face. You know, doesn't really have expressions and, you know, a mouth or anything, but you know, the leaf, the main leaf here, the center leaf can kind of, you know, tilt up. It can tilt down. It can kind of be, you know, 3/4, which I'm going to put it there. And so the middle here, this is almost like his eyes, if you will. He's a plant, so he doesn't have eyes, but I can get a little bit of emotion out of him. I can move him around a little bit, but he's looking the wrong way. He's not looking at Bello hanging the dollar. So I'm going to go ahead and flip him. And we're going to hit save. And then we're going to update it in my InDesign and in the layout program. Boom, there he is. Now he's facing the right way. All right, so panel 1 doesn't look too bad to me. And so let's go ahead and back to Adobe Illustrator, my layout or my design program. I'm going to go ahead and save this as number 2. We're going to use this for panel 2. And part of the reason I do this instead of just starting from scratch is, well, my characters are already in kind of in the right place, and you know, it's easy for me just to kind of tweak these guys and move them around to work better with what's going on. So instead of, you know, having to like set these guys up again, making sure they're all in the right places, I can just delete Bello out of there. We are going to go to, oh, I need a different Bello, and I can get rid of this one. Don't need that. And actually, I don't need that. Let's close that. I am going to open my in support files. I have Bello characters. We're going to open this file. And you can see I've got my characters. Some of these guys haven't even been introduced to the show. Well, yeah, George DeFuzz, he's not there yet. You'll see him later. Sheppy Starling, I still need to kind of revise that character, but anyway, this is like all my characters, and I have different pieces. This is, if any of you guys do animation, you'll kind of recognize the way I created these, where they have different pieces that, you know, you can move separately and adjust. You can change out a mouth, so instead of having the super happy, you know, laughing, high energy kind of mouth, you can swap it out for, like, you know, medium happy smile, but not quite as loud or aggressive, if you will. I can get rid of the eyebrows. Right there, he's got actually the eyes are very wide open. These are kind of more the normal neutral. I call them neutral eyes. But you get the idea. Like I said, any of you guys that do animation, you'll recognize that you kind of have your pieces separately, and then you can move them around. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab this Bello. Let me make sure his body's put together. Okay. Go ahead and copy him. We're going to paste him into our scene. Let me look at my layers. We want this on layer 3. What is that? Okay, something happened. We are grabbing some guidelines for some reason. All right, let's get out of there. Paste. There we go. My guidelines weren't locked, so it was doing something funky. And we are on the wrong layer. Let's try that again. There we go. Now we're on the right layer. And now we're going to have the guys kind of talking to each other. So this is going to be panel 2. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. I'll tweak this as we go, but I want to get it into the panel just to see how the dialogue and everything lines up. So we're going to go back to Bello Bear, episodes, archive 26. And there's panel 2. So I'm going to open that, pop that in there. Dink. I'm going to slide this over. Probably going to move this over a little bit more. This one, it's going to be Bello and Avery talking. So I'm going to move that over a little bit. Bubba can be slightly off to the side since he's not really part of the conversation. Let's get our dialogue boxes kind of set up there, set properly. I'm going to move his dialogue over. I'm going to do the same thing for Avery, his thought bubbles. Bello's got the triangle since he's actually talking out loud. And even though they can hear Avery, you know, he's a plant. He doesn't have a mouth, so he doesn't make any noise technically, but I guess he's projecting his thoughts to them. They can hear him. It's a comic strip. Give me a break. It doesn't have to be, you know, realistic. All right. Hang on one sec, guys. Let me. I'm gonna go grab a cough drop. I've been a little bit under the weather and a little bit of, you know, cold and stuff. So, give me a sec. I'm gonna grab some cough drops. 1 sec. I'll be right back. Oh wait, I forgot. I do have an overlay for "Be right back." Where is it? Be right back. All right, that one's, you guys probably can't see it, but that one's for YouTube. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, you know what? I just realized I can't even, I don't know if you guys are even chatting with me. Let me go back to, all right, I'm back. I'm gonna keep this window up over here, so hopefully, if you guys do chat, I can see what you're saying. This is total Jimmy rig setup right now, and I really apologize. And like I said, if you want, obviously you can see what's going on, but if you want to see the proper stream and how it'll be once I can get TikTok nailed down, if you guys want to see it over on YouTube, you can just tap the screen for a few hearts and then head over there. If you go over to YouTube and you click, or not click on, but if you search for Bello Bear Live, you can see the proper setup with the screen capture and all that. But anyway, in the meantime, more than welcome to hang out with me, and we're just gonna keep going here. Bethany, what's going on? All right, I'm gonna use this. We're gonna tweak these more, but oh, well, there we go. We didn't mean to delete that top one. So what I'm going to do is, so we got panel 1 and 2 done. I am going to go ahead and copy panel 2, and we're going to use that just on, do I have, sorry, bear with me. There we go. Is this on pan layer 1? Okay, we're good. I'm going to go ahead and just paste these, even though I know they're the same as the ones above, the one above. We are going to go ahead and tweak that. We're going to go ahead and tweak those, but I want to see how the dialogue lines up. Because the overall, these aren't going to change. Money's only temporary, bud. Who's saying what line? That's what I need to figure out. Panel 2 is Bello and Avery, which we got that right. Panel 3 is Bello and Bubba. Okay, so we can get rid of the, move the bubbles out of the way. So this one's going to be kind of a little funky. Let me slide, I'm going to slide this over a little bit. And I'm going to move my dialogue triangle on top of his head, so that makes a little more sense. We're going to slide his dialogue box over, and also his triangle, since we're kind of talking around Avery. And then this last one, I think I can probably leave it where it's at. You know, I originally had this, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So panel 4, I had Avery saying the second line, but it's a little funky with the way the layout of the panel is. And because he's, Bello's dialogue line is so long, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it. And I'm going to have Bubba say the final line instead. So I'm going to slide this over just a hair. I am going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to use this one since I already moved the characters over. They're kind of in the right spot. Yeah. And maybe what we're going to do is we're going to have Avery looking back and forth between them in this, in the bottom, in panel 3 and panel 4. Yeah, I think that'll work. You know, I never did check to see if my if YouTube is working correct. Let me go take a look how it looks over here, and if you guys are chatting over here, I haven't gotten the chats. Whoops, Bello Bear. Bello Bear live. Not love live. Bear with me one sec here. I'm gonna take a look at it over here. Show chat. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we didn't get any chat over here that I was missing. All right, cool. We are good. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled comic book making. Okay, now that we got the overall layout looking pretty good, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit edit. We're gonna edit the panel 1, edit the original, and I need a talking mouth. What are we saying? What a great idea, Bello. Okay, so I need a talking mouth because I want him, or I need a open mouth because he's talking, and then I want to use the medium one because it's smiling, so he's saying, you know, that this could be either for laughing or talking and smiling. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to pop it over here. We're going to flip horizontal since it's pointing the other way, and I also grab some eyebrows because I think those might work well. Give it some, give him a little bit more emotion. I'm going to slide that up a hair. I'm going to zoom out. And let's see how it looks. We're going to update in here. Oh, it already updated for us, which is nice. And so that looks good. So I think what we're going to do work on next is part 2, which is actually pretty decent. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Bubba a little bit. You know, with anything like, if you've ever done any animation or anything like that, and you know, obviously comic books are similar. You never want your characters to be exactly the way they were, the last panel. Just like when we're, you know, talking in real life, you're gonna move a little bit. Your posture is gonna change. You might, you know, move your arms. People talk with their arms all the time, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and. He's not talking, but I do want him to be moving around a little bit, just so it's not exactly the same as the last one, because that's visually very boring. I mean, my comic strips are dialogue heavy anyway, but I do want it to have a relatively natural feel. So let's go ahead and hit save, and then we're going to update. Boop. So you see, just he moved a little bit. It's not a huge difference. And I think I'm going to slide this over a little bit too. I'm not sure why I have him so far over. Oh, because of Avery's dialogue box. Duh. And I think what I'm going to do is give Avery. Oh wait, I want a little bit longer, like thought bubble for him. I think I might have one down here that I did with 4 bubbles. Pardon the zooming. No, I did that in another one. Shoot. All right, bear with me. We'll go find it. I just updated the art for the video intro, outro. I did a, there we go. Let's got, this one has 4 bubbles. So I'm gonna save that, close that. I don't need that anymore. Let's zoom in. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that there. And then we're gonna go 110% because it was shrunk down in the other panel. There we go. That works a little better. Now you know for sure it's Avery talking. And let's see, just to double check. Yeah, Bubba's looking good. He's a little different. I think I still might slide this over just a hair. There. I'm gonna flip the thought bubbles so they're pointing more. Because keep in mind, so this is Avery, like the top of Avery's head is basically that center leaf. And so it's kind of his face. So I want to make sure I line up his dialogue with that. All right, cool. That looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and hit save. I always like saving while I'm working just to be safe. And next up, we are going to work on panel 3. Take a sip of water here before I start coughing again. Man, I don't know if it's allergies or what, but it's been kind of kicking my butt. Let's slide these over a little bit. Again, I'm going to move these characters around a little bit, but so let's go ahead and edit original. And this is panel 2, so we need to do a save as. I don't want to save over my last panels. So we call this panel 3, or just number 3, insinuating that it is panel 3. And let's zoom in a little bit. So this one is dialogue between Bello and Bubba. Let's see what our dialogue is. Money is only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food, family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipes, and knowing y'all got my back. I don't know how well that works. Money is only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food. So they're kind of finishing it, or Bubba's kind of finishing Bello's thought there. I think you know what? I think it works okay. I'll slide these guys over just a hair. We can always come back to it if I really need to change it, if it doesn't work later, especially in the video version where we actually have dialogue and them talking out loud. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip Avery. So now he's looking at Bubba, since he kind of finishes Bello's thought. I'm going to move his leaf down a little bit so we can tell he's looking at Bubba. We are going to need to change his mouth since he's got dialogue. And I think we're going to go with what I call the high mouth because it's got more emotion, more action. I'm going to flip that around. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and place that right about there. Maybe turn it a hair. And then we got Bello. Let's change out his arm. Kind of have him pointing towards the boys, or he's talking with his arm up a little bit more. And I'm going to give him some eyebrows. I think that works good. Copy, paste. And get him feeling like he's a little more emotional. What did we do for, let me take a peek at panel 2. Avery's arm. Avery's arm looks a little, or Bubba's arm looks a little weird. See how it's not quite lining up there? So let me go ahead, I'm going to select it, edit original, and we're going to move this over a little bit. That'll look a little more natural. All right, save, close, and then let's go back just to check. Yep, that looks much better. Little details make the difference. All right, and next up, let's do, wait, is this panel 2 or panel 3? Nope, still panel 2. All right, let me update the link with panel 3. Hit OK. And I didn't save it yet, so it hasn't done everything. So let's go ahead and I'm going to move his arm. You know what I'm going to do is delete, and then we're going to go, we got to go up a different layer. But I'm going to have his arm kind of up and on the counter or above the counter. Again, you know, just like with animation, just art in general, you never want, what? Oh, man. Well, that sucks. Bello Bear. Let me go back. How do I sign in with my, all right, let's get, you know what? Oh, I forgot to turn off the, this is such a cluster. Ugh. All right, we're back. Well, if you guys are back, hopefully you find the new stream. It killed my last one. I'm gonna have to make sure I tap the screen or do something. All right, we're back. It must have like an auto. Whoops, I don't know how I did that. Why didn't monitor live? Huh. Where if I go to studio on here? TikTok Studio, manage. There we go. We're getting people back. Sorry, my stream just decided to completely cut out for some reason. Probably because I'm recording my screen, so it doesn't see any movement. Thanks for coming back. I'm trying to see. I'm seeing if I can get YouTube Studio to pop up on my iPad, and so monitor chat and stuff there. If not, all right, that doesn't seem to work at all. Come on, TikTok, help a brother out. Can you please make this available on, make TikTok Studio available on the Mac? That'd make my life so much easier. All right, it says I'm live. It says it's working on there. Let me double check, make sure. Okay, let's try that. I did set up a chat monitor thing. Let's see if it works. Trigger test message. And I got nothing. Brilliant. This requested user isn't online. Wow, okay. Sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to see if I can get my my chat monitoring to work. Activate source. TikTok Live. It's thinking. Log in. Oh God, here we go. Hello at bellobear.com. Bear with me. Sorry, one sec. We'll get right back to it. I'm trying to at least get the chat monitor to work, so that way I can see when you guys are sending me stuff. Because right now it's just a cluster. What am I doing? TikTok. Bello copy. All right, let's get out of there. All right, bear with me one more second here. We're almost there. Oh, come on, guys, really? All right, I think we're almost there. I want to get the chat working because I can't see what you guys are saying. Okay, we're good. We're back and going. Okay, sorry about all that. I know it's a big cluster, for lack of a better term. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, oh yeah, I was putting Bubba's arm. I'm gonna have to make sure I check the camera here and do something. Otherwise, I think because I'm recording my screen, it just thinks nothing's happening. So let's go back. Where are we? Panel 3. I promise these will be so much better in the future. What a pain in the butt. Such a pain. Let me hide that. Bear with me one second more. Make sure YouTube's looking okay. Okay, that's looking good. Now, where did? Oh boy. All right, we're just going. If you guys send me a chat, hopefully I see it. If not, we're just gonna have to deal. It's definitely a technical difficulties day. Oh yeah, that's right. Bear with me. We're gonna do a test chat here to see if it pops up. There we go. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. We'll hide that. Look at that. All right, see a bunch of people joined. Yay! Okay, back at it. So I was working on panel 3. Let me go ahead and hit save. Now we should be able to update it in here. Much better. Money's only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food, ... Family. I wonder if I should add triple dots to him too. I think that'll make it more like, okay, they're finishing each other's thoughts. Good fishing. At least good fishing spot. I don't know why I'm taking that out. Good food, family, good fishing. Okay. I think that works a little better. And lastly, so we're going to use, let me go back to my design program. This is Adobe Illustrator. And we're going to resave or do save as. I'm going to call this panel 4. Again, I want to tweak it slightly. I know, my comics tend to be very dialogue heavy, so there's not much art-wise going on. But I do want to make sure, you know, things shift around. Just like if you or I were having a conversation standing in front of each other, you know, you're going to move, you're going to shift. Expressions are going to change, mouth is going to change. Let me close that one. I don't need that one. I don't want to mess it up. Let's use this arm for Bello. Paste. I'm going to flip that horizontally. Keep that right there. And what's our dialogue? This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys. All right, so he's kind of emotional, and I think I'm going to give him the big emotional mouth for that matter. Let's copy. Whoops. Let's try that again. Copy, paste. Now we're on the right layer. Come on, Avery. Get out of the way. And I think I'm going to rotate his arm a little bit because he's kind of making a point. Kind of talking with his hand, you know. Bubba is bringing him back down to earth a little bit. I think I'm going to swap out his arm with this regular one, more down by his side. And we're going to paste that there, slide it over, flip horizontal. I know I'm doing this kind of fast, but hopefully you guys can kind of see what's going on. And I'm going to tilt his head too. So I'm going to grab the back of his neck and slide it up just a little bit. Dink. And I need another mouth for him. He's bringing stuff kind of back to earth. I think I might give him some eyebrows, or maybe one eyebrow going up. I don't know. We'll play with it a little bit. But let's give the mouth, bring the mouth in. We're going to put that about there. I got to flip it horizontally since he's looking the other way. And I'm going to rotate it just a little bit since he's looking up. I'm going to slide it over. And we're going to go ahead and save. And let's see how it looks in our layout program. So this is InDesign. I'm going to go ahead and change the link for this. It's going to be panel 4. That's the one we're just working on. Yes, that's all fine. See, and like they changed subtly. It's not super drastic. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let me type in. Last time, you know, the live view timed out because I wasn't doing anything. I wonder if I at least chat, say something. Maybe that'll help. Thanks for the hearts. Maybe that'll help help TikTok think I'm still there. I might have to just flip the camera around and take a look. So let's look at so we pretty much got everything here. I think we're pretty close. Oh my God, no we're not. I forgot I hid Avery. We got to bring him back. There he is. We're gonna move Avery just a hair too. You know, he's a plant. Technically, he doesn't move, but I do like to slide him around a little bit, move him just a bit. Bello. I'm going to zoom in here and make sure I'm grabbing everything. So we got his eyes, his mouth, and his head. And I'm going to rotate him just a hair. I feel like he's, you know, like I was saying before, with this, like animation, art, comics, you want your characters moving around a little bit. You know, it's just like you or I standing next to each other having a conversation. We wouldn't be perfectly still. So even a little nudge here and there definitely helps. So let's update that. So I'll show you how. It's not a whole ton of movement, but keep an eye. I'm going to hit the update button right now. So take a look. Yeah, so it's not a huge difference, but it's enough where you're like, oh, they're slightly different position. And you know, as you're reading it, you're probably not going to notice ginormous difference, but it's enough to trick your eye where you feel it's more natural. So I think we're good there. This feels pretty good. Let me next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through dialogue. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and center this so we can see a little better. Let me open my window up a little bit. There we go. So I'm just going to read through it and look at the panels themselves just to kind of make sure I like where they're going. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Keep them coming. And then if you just joined, by the way, and you see I'm recording my screen with my phone. I basically had to jimmy rig this live to get it to work with TikTok. It's a long story, but if you want to see what it's supposed to look like, go over to YouTube and just do a search for Bello Bear Live. And that's how it's supposed to work, where I'm actually screen capturing my screens and you get to see me on camera there too. Anyway, so I had to kind of jimmy rig it to get it to work, unfortunately. But it's better than nothing. So let's read through it. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. And just make sure that TikTok is happy that I'm still live, because I think it kicked me off the last time. Flip camera. There we go. Okay, if I can hide the... there we go. Hello. So you're supposed to see me on screen, but TikTok is making it hard because I'm on a Mac. And TikTok Studio isn't available on Mac yet, so it's a big pain in the butt to get it to work. But anyway, I figured I'd flip it around, say hello, and we'll keep working. I just want to make sure TikTok doesn't kick me off again like it did last time. All right, so let me flip you back around so you can see the monitor. And, whoop, too many flips. There we go. Sorry about that. Flip, 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 flip. Okay, we're back. So now I'm going to just read through. I want to make sure I'm happy. Oh, wait, I can see some chats. Thank you. Thank you for coming and supporting. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm happy to have you here and throwing up the hearts. But if you want to go check out the YouTube one, you'll see what it's supposed to look like. And once I get it figured out, that's how it's going to look from now on. And if you saw my other stream the other day, I'm planning on doing this daily now. So it'll, I really want to have the good layout and everything too. Anyway, long story. I'll get totally sidetracked. Let me shut up and get back to the comic strip. All right, we're gonna read through it one time. Gonna maybe make any tweaks visually, if any, which I think we're pretty good. But and then we'll dive into doing the video version. All right, Bello, panel 1. In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar frame to mark the occasion. What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official. Speaking of money, did I tell you? Did I tell the one? Should this be I tell you? See, this is why I reread it, because you always find stuff. Even if it's not a typo, I feel like, did I tell you? I feel like you should be in here. It just feels more natural. So speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money? Only a million times. It had withdrawals. It's such a cheap dad joke. I feel like Avery's line is a little short there. I feel like it could have a little bit more, but anyway, let's go on. I'll come back to that. I might add a little something to it, just because I feel like it, I don't know. I feel like it could use a little something more. Money is only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food, family, good fishing spot. That needs an A. So this is why I read through it, because you don't want your typos. I gotta shrink this down a little bit to get it to fit. It's shrinking a little more than I usually like, but it still works okay. Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back. This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys. Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them. All right, perfect. I kind of feel like I want Bubba to have eyebrows in panel 4. Let's go do that real quick. I feel like he needs a little more emotion. We'll use the down ones. It's probably not a ginormous difference compared to the medium ones, but I feel it might be a little better. So let's go in here. We're going to go ahead and paste. I'm going to flip those. Hiding behind Avery again. Yeah, these, whoops. Almost grabbed his head there by accident. So you can feel like he's being a little more earnest with what he's saying. So let's go ahead and hit save. I am going to go back to the layout program in design, and we're going to go ahead and update that file. Bink. And now he's got the eyebrows. I feel that's like, just emotionally, it makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, you know what? I'm good with that. It's a dialogue heavy episode. What are you going to do? You know, you can only shoehorn so much in there. Oh, and before I forget, my bottom panels, if you look, and this is just detail work, if you look where the hand is right now, the space between the dialogue box and the TV, and then you compare it to down here, it's a little different. And it's because the way the white outline I have going across the center here fits a little bit different. So I always have to move the bottom panels up just a little bit. You know what? I bet you're going like, dude, nobody's ever going to notice that. And you're probably right. But I notice it. And that's the kind of shit that'll drive me insane. Absolutely crazy. Because I'll see it and then I'm like, and once it's posted to, you know, 20 different media sites, then I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, sorry, I just noticed your message. When did I start these? Officially, I started at the beginning of the year. I did January 1 was my very first episode. And we're going back and redoing these. I started January 1, and I just did the 4-panel comic, just like you see it here. And as I went through, I got up to, here, I can tell you actually exactly how far I got. Bello Bear episodes. I was up to episode 85, so I got pretty darn far. But I decided I wanted to do video versions of them. So if you've been to my, you know, my profile, you'll see that I always do like a video version of the episode. Just, you know what, I personally love traditional comics, 4 panels like you see here. But I also like doing the video version because it's a little more modern. You know, not everybody wants to read. People just want to hit the play button. And, you know, it seemed like a good idea. So anyway, long story short, too late. I went back, you know, I don't know, a couple months ago, a month or two ago now, and started again from square one. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like them. So I went back to square one and started again, and because I wanted to do all the video version. And it kind of gave me the opportunity to kind of rework some of the first ones too, because they were pretty darn rough, I gotta tell you. Some of them were good, some of them were, yeah, I'm still honing my skills. I'm definitely 2,000 miles better than I was. Anyway, so where were we? Let's see, I think everything was good. Okay, so next up, we are going to take, I'm going to take my dialogue and I'm going to copy it back into my notes app, my script basically. Because I'm going to use this copy, this is just going to be copy paste, going between InDesign graphics program and my script. And I want to make sure these are exactly how they are in the comic, because I'm going to copy these later into another app for making the dialogue. So anyway, and you know, nothing's worse than having the dialogue not match because it was my original one, then I tweaked it in here in the, you know, when I started doing the graphics, and then what the stuff in what the audio version doesn't match what's on the screen. It'll become clear once we dive into the video version, which we're going to do shortly. Anyway, so I'm copying and pasting. You gotta head out. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day too. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna do these every day, so they're gonna be a little janky for now, but definitely keep tuning in. All right. Have a great day. Thank you for all the hearts and chatting with me, because I love chatting. All right. So let's see panel 4. Make sure I don't miss any of these. Copy, paste. There we go. That looks good. So we got all of our dialogue. Next thing we're gonna use that for making the audio version, the dialogue, if you will, for the video. So, but next thing we're gonna do is I gotta finish the artwork for the video version. So this is what you're gonna see. This is like the opening panel for the video version. Oh, and I came up with a name for anybody who's been following along. I wasn't sure what the heck I want to call because they're not, like, the video version isn't like a full-fledged cartoon, if you know what I mean. It's you know, basically the comic book with the comic book panels, the individual dialogue, and then and then I have sound effects and stuff to make it sound like, you know, you're actually at the deli. And so I couldn't figure out a good name for it because it's not a cartoon. It's still kind of like halfway in between a cartoon and a comic book. So I came up with the name of Watch Along Comic. I thought that works pretty good. So anyway, what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and paste my panels. So we're going to take each one. I'm going to go ahead and, like, each line of dialogue gets its own panel. I got to shrink these down to 90% just so they fit a little better. I'm going to paste, and this is just copy paste, very repetitive, so nothing very exciting there, but and I'm going to shrink that down. You're going to see me scrolling a lot and a lot of copy paste. I'm going to go back to the top. Oop, zoom out. Sorry for the super zoom there. You know, I'll stay zoomed out a little bit more so you can kind of see as I'm scrolling. It's not making you seasick seeing something fly by on the screen really fast. All right, so that's panel 3. Let's shrink that down. Next up, paste. So I'm going to basically do this for each line of dialogue. And we'll go ahead and we're going to end up probably tweaking these a little bit too. Next up, we're going to grab number 3, copy, back down. It's very, very monotonous, very repetitive, but it works. Let's shrink that down. So we delete the second line of dialogue. I'm going to paste again. I'm going to delete the first line of dialogue. You kind of get the idea where each line of dialogue gets its own panel. And I'm going to do it one more time. I know this is super repetitive and boring, and you're just watching me scroll on the screen. Boom. I'm going to put that there. Delete the first line. Shrink down. Mind you, this is still a lot faster than creating a cartoon. That, if you know anything about animation, and I know some of my art friends here on TikTok, they're animators. You know what it's like. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal how much work it is. All right, so now I got to adjust these panels for the video version. So I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to go for the individual panels. These all go. This is basically 1080 by 1920, so video format size. So if you're holding your, if you're holding your phone in front of you, it fits perfectly in that. And we have to end up doing some tweaks. Like Bubba is way off to the side here, and I need him to be a little higher up, or be a little further in, so he's not totally cut off. This one's gonna be a little hard because we've got 3 characters. You know, maybe we're gonna go, since I can't really fit them all in, we won't show that Bubba's in this too on panel 1, which is okay. So let's go, we're gonna tweak this. So we're gonna bring this up. We just need to show Bello for a second by the frame dollar. I'm gonna slide my dialogue over here. So I'm going to show a little bit of the dollar. And what I'm going to do here is, so we're going to go edit original, and this is going to be our panel 1. What we're going to do is I'm going to do a save as, and I'm going to call this, it's the same name as it was before, you know, panel 1. But I'm going to call it video 1, V1. And what we're going to do is we're going to tweak this. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Bello, and I'm going to slide him over a a little bit. I'm also going to do the same thing with Bubba because I need them to fit in the frame a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then we're going to go back here and I'm going to swap this one, which is the original panel one. I'm going to swap it out with the V1 version. And you'll see what I mean that, boop. See now they fit better in the frame. And I can actually slide this over a little bit more because I always want to focus on whoever is talking. And it's not quite, because it's such a wide shot, it's a little off, but it's going to have to do. You know, I wonder if I can just slide this over a little bit more. We just need to see Bello, kind of the back of Bello. Because we did see, you know, panel one, we do see the full dollar. I wish we saw Bubba, but I think this will have to work. I'm going to slide over his dialog box just a little bit, or his dialog triangle just a little bit, so it's not so far off. And I think that's okay. It's not perfect. I wonder if I should what is this? Is this video? No. You know what? Let me try. I'm going to go ahead and change the first one. I always try to use my original panel, but in this case, I think I'm better off using the one I moved over. It's going to work a little better. Might even get a little bit of Bubba into the frame. And you know what else we're going to do? Let me get... Maybe what I can do is I can move the dollar over a little bit. And mind you, this is like this is the video version, so we still have our original one for the 4-panel comic. So that none of that changes. This is just to make it work for video. So I'm going to grab a different arm. Not quite. Let's see. I got to tweak this a little bit. I'm going to grab, make sure the TT didn't kick me off again. No, I think we're good. You know what? Here, we'll move his arm, we'll stretch his arm a little bit more this way, so that way it doesn't look as funky. It was looking a little weird. There we go. Much better. All right, let's hit save. We're going to go back to the layout program. I'm going to go ahead and update. I'm still thinking, I don't know. Bubba might move out of there. Oh, let me move. I hear the puppy. Where's the puppy? Hi, puppy. Come up. Come on. Hardy, my little puppy, decided to join us. It's okay. You can come up. Do you want to lay up here? You usually do. There she is. Can't really see her, can you? Here, come here. Sit down. It's okay. Sit down. You're okay. Over there. See, look. Hello. That's Hardy. Oh, you guys can't see her a little bit. All right. Uh-oh. Did my, you know, you don't make a very good window, bud. There we go. All right, she's got her spot. I want Bubba in the shot, but it's really hard to squeeze him in there. There she is. There's such a delay on the, like I'm doing this live, but if you can, the screen on the right hand side, I'm just monitoring the chat on there to make sure I'm not missing anything. And it's so delayed, that's funny. Okay, back to it. Totally getting sidetracked here. I'm going to move Bubba over a little bit more. Oh, got an extra arm back there. And I'm going to go ahead and change his mouth too. You know what, let's slide. We're going to slide Avery over too. Just got to do this stuff to make it work when you're doing the video version. The space, I mean, you know, we went from having a square, square space to have all of our art to being a pretty tall rectangle. And I'm going to change out his mouth since it's Bello that's talking, which is a good point. He's not actually talking. I never made a mouth for him sideways. How am I going to show that? Let's see. You know what? I'm going to have to tweak this, but... All right, let's make him a mouth real quick here. Yeah, it looks funky. This is such a strong angle that it just looks weird. It just looks really weird. You know what? I think we're going to go with that. It's never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be 100% happy with it. Because technically, you probably shouldn't even see any part of his mouth at that angle. But let's go ahead and hit save. And let's see how it looks. All right, that's not too bad. I'm going to slide him over just a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, let's go back to panel 2. So now what we're going to need to do, I'm going to slide this over just a hair. And we're going to go ahead and go back here, and we're going to change it, or we're going to save as. Remember to save as, so you don't oversave. You don't save over what you're doing. We're going to call that video 2. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip him around. We're going to get rid of that Bello. That way he's actually looking at Bubba talking. I think this is going to make our lives a lot easier. I'm going to flip that, zoom out a little bit, paste. How tall was he? Top of his head lines up almost with the dollar, so let's stick that up just a hair. I think we can move Avery over. I'm going to flip him. And we're going to take Bello and we're going to slide him over just so he's not covered up completely. And I need to change his mouth. Actually, what I can do is I can copy paste. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Actually, yeah, copy paste. And I'll bring that over here for Bubba's mouth. We're basically going to swap mouths for them since they swapped dialogue. Or didn't swap dialogue, but one is talking in the scene, one isn't. I'm going to flip that horizontally. Move that around a little bit to fit better. I wish Avery's leaves weren't sticking on top of them. All right, let's see. That's video 2. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Let's pop it in here and see what it looks like. I'm going to zoom out just a hair if I can. Okay, there's 1. And this is going to be 2. Links. Change. Vid 2. This one's going to be a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's really easy to do the video version, but this one's going to be a pain just because by how far apart they, how far they are spaced apart. Why does that sound like such a weird thing to say? Great idea, Bello. And we don't really need to see the dollar at this point because we've already established it in the first one. All right, so let's go. We're going to go back to, you know what I'm going to do? Avery. I think I'm just going to go and use this one as my starting point. Edit original. And then what I'm going to do is zoom out. We're going to look at it. Save as video 1. So this is going to be panel 2, video 1. I am going to have to move my characters around, but I do like, what I think I'm going to try to do is just move Bubba. Yeah, let's just move Bubba. He's slightly, you know, we'll move him just a hair more. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And I want to move Avery just a little bit. Delete that extra arm. Because Avery's actually like looking towards Bello. I'm going to move his head a little bit. And then we're going to go, let's see, the video 1. Okay, that's correct. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out for panel 2, video 1. This is really tedious and monotonous work, but got to do it to get it to fit in the different format. So that actually works. That looks really good. I'm very happy with that because we do see Bubba, since they're talking to each other. We do see the dollar in there. And then this one, Bubba. All right. That does work pretty good. It's a little wonky just with, because we got Avery in there. And his leaves are sticking out, but, you know, depth-wise, he's in the right place. So I think we're just going to have to deal with it. I'm wondering if I should just take Avery out of this thing, period. Means I got some more work to do, but Avery should be part of this, you know? Ugh. Yeah, you know what? Avery has to be in her because he's part of the conversation. All right, this one's going to be pretty easy, though. Let's edit original. Again, we're going to do save as. So we're going to call this V2, since we already did a video 1. And I'm going to swap out the mouth for Bello here because he's not talking. Boop. I'm going to flip that horizontally. And save. And let's just pop it back in there and see what we get. Change. Oh, excuse me. I need some more caffeine or something. There we go. I think that one works perfect. I don't even have to adjust anything else. And again, like I was saying before, you want your panels to be slightly different. You want your characters to move around, be in a different place, because just like real life, if you and I were talking to each other in front of each other, it wouldn't be just straightforward. You wouldn't be exactly in the same spot every second. You'd move around, you'd shift on your feed and all that kind of stuff. So, how's our, let's see, just double checking my camera here for TikTok Studio. All right, no warnings, it's gonna cut off again. I think it's because I was recording my screen and I didn't like that, so. Okay, next up. Panel, what is this, 3? This fits pretty good. Oh, again, like I mentioned earlier, my panels 3 and 4 don't line up perfectly like they do on the top, or they're slightly higher, so I have to adjust it, and you'll see me moving these down a little bit. So if you're wondering why, that's exactly why. So let's move this over. I think we are going to tweak this one, even though it lines up decent. And that dialog box was way off. I think what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and edit this one. It should be edit original. Yep. This is panel 3. So we're going to do a save as, and we're going to call this panel 3 V1, video 1. We're going to tweak. Bello is talking in this one, so I'm going to go ahead and change out Bubba's mouth. Let's go with the neutral. He's not saying anything. And you know what? Before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to go ahead and just close out some of these. It's happened to me where I click back into Adobe Illustrator and I click the wrong one, and then I have to go back and fix my work, which I don't want to have to do. Let's go ahead and paste. Make sure it's on the same layer. I'm going to rotate this just slightly. And so let's hit save. I think I wanted to move this over a little bit. No. No, that actually looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and swap those out. Well, it's only temporary, but you know what? I think it's fine. This one's already kind of taken extra work to get it to work, so I don't want to. I could sit here and try to perfect this thing for like days and days, but I want to make sure that we we still have a good amount of work to do. It's already 3 o'clock over here, and I need to get this posted soon. So can't always make everything perfect. You can get close, but a lot of this stuff too is like such detail-oriented stuff that nobody else in their right mind is going to notice but me. Just going to slide this over. I think on this one, though, I am going to move Bello just a little bit. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, all right, I'll probably move Bello a little bit. Let's move that over. And then we're going to go ahead and edit original. This is where I do the save as. So we'll call this V2. This is super tedious work, but I love it. I love making this. Slide that over, slide Bello over. I need to swap out his mouth too. I'm going to take out his eyebrows. Copy, paste. Just go with the neutral mouth. I might go, you know, we'll come back and take a look at it, but we might be able to do the more of a happy mouth, but for this dialogue stuff, it goes back and forth so fast you don't really even notice it on screen. So let's swap out. So remember, this is going to be panel 3, video 2. I'm going to swap those out. Boop. There you go. And I think we can probably slide this over just a little bit more. Since it's Bubba's turn to talk, I like to make sure whoever's talking, I like to get them closer to the center of the frame. So we'll go with that. And let's see. What is next? Next up, we're going to do, this is panel 4. We're almost there, guys. We've got almost all the artwork done, and then we got to bring it into Adobe Premiere. I use all the Adobe apps for all my artwork. Slide that over a little bit. Once I have all these done, we're going to do the dialogue, and then we put it all together in Adobe Premiere to make it just flow seamlessly. This one I want to move over a little bit, and then we're going to edit this. Edit, original. Once again, save as, call this video 1. Always save first. I noticed that if you're working on something, you get side. Let's switch out his arm. Copy. If you get sidetracked and pick up a phone call, a text or something, and then all of a sudden you're not paying attention, you can very easily save over your work. Believe me, I've done it. So that's why I kind of got in the habit of just doing save first, and then you change your layout. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry to yawn, but I'm freaking tired today. So video 1, let's go ahead and hit save. We'll go ahead and place it in there. That's got to be really distracting. If you're watching the right side of my screen, let me see if is that cut off. Yeah, you can see it a little bit, but you can see the delay of TikTok. It's kind of weird. Panel 4, video 1. We're really close. I thought I slid Bello over a little bit. Maybe not. All right, you know what? That's okay. We're going to stick with it. We need to get this sucker wrapped up because we still got a good amount of work ahead of us. So I don't want to get too far caught in the details. I do that all the time where I'm just like, nitpicking every little detail. And yes, of course, I want it perfect. I'm an artist. I'm a weirdo. I'm a freak like that. But the reality is only so many hours, and we got to keep this moving. Otherwise, I'm never going to get it done. So let's get this one. I'm going to slide this over. Got a little bit more. There we go. That looks pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and do the edit thing again. Edit original. Save as V2. Go ahead and save. And I think I'm going to move Bello over just a hair. I'm going to swap out his arm, his mouth. I'm going to go with a normal down arm. I did it again. See, I got like bunch of different panels open. I don't want to click on the wrong one, and end up messing something up. So let's swap out his arm. Move it a little bit, and I need a mouth. Go with the neutral. You know, give him a little smile. I don't really notice it too much, but it's a pretty happy conversation they're having. And then let's go ahead and hit save. Go back. I'm going to swap this one out just like last time. Video 2. Dink. There we go. That looks pretty good. So we've got all of our frames set for video mode. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to export this. I already have it set up preset with all my parameters and everything, but basically I'm exporting PNGs. I'm going to use the 4-panel PNG to upload. Oh, sorry, another yawn. I really need some more caffeine or something. The 4-panel version goes to, just as it is, goes to social. And then I'm going to go ahead and close out of here and hide the app. And then all the other ones are going to go right to my video version. So let's go take a peek. Yep, you can see them all here. So these are all my exported PNGs. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this into Claude, my AI writing partner here. And I'm going to show him the final episode. Here's the final, any typos or issues. Just to get a second pair of eyes, because I've been staring at this thing. I don't even really see words and grammar anymore. I'm trying to make stuff fit perfectly into the panels. So I like to have Claude kind of be my second eyes and, you know, give me a second opinion just to make sure I didn't miss anything. You know, any typos or anything. Looking through the final version, I don't see any typos. The dialogue flows clean or flows well and captures each character perfectly. Bello, visual story works great too. This is a heartwarming episode that shows genuine care. I agree. Okay, so we're good there. So next up, what we're gonna do, and this is I really enjoy this part, is creating dialogue. So this is another one where I use AI. I use one that's called Hume. I tried a few different ones, but Hume I've kind of gotten the best results and it feels the most natural. You definitely got to work with it. It's not like you just hit the button and it's done. You got to work with it a little bit and do some tweaking here and there. But I'm pretty darn happy with it. You know, originally I wanted to do all the dialogue myself, but there's only so many hours in the day. So what I do is I copy and paste. So I copy my dialogue text and I paste it in here. This is for the intro sentence. So let me show you real quick. It is for this part. And mind you, this is only going to be used for the video version. Got it. So here, this is like the intro panel. It's got the logo and basically, hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, and then our title, which is $1 up. So I paste that dialogue into Hume. They have an auto-generate for acting instructions. It basically tells, based on what you have there, it'll give you acting instructions. So I'm going to hit the auto-generate button. So it thinks that the voice should be saying what I pasted in there. The voice is cheerful, friendly, and engaging, which is exactly right because Bello's basically introducing the episode to us. And then what you do is you hit generate, and we'll hear what it says. Nope. Let me turn up my.
This is episode 26, $1 up.
Nope. Let me turn up my.
This is episode 26.
I got the echo going. Hang on. Okay, I had to mute my window with my showing my live view so I can see what's going on. All right, let's play that one more time.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, $1 up.
All right, not bad. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Hit the down arrow button and downloads it. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate again just to see if he does it a little different, a little smoother. I feel like down dollar up, the title, he kind of went through it a little too fast or didn't enunciate enough.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up.
Okay, I like that one better because the hello, I'm Bello is very different from this is episode 26, dollar up. It makes you, it sounds more natural. You hear it better. All right, let's see which one it was.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up.
All right, so that's the one I like. I'm going to chuck the other one, and then I'm going to rename this one. I've got kind of a naming scheme I use, so it's easy to figure out what the heck is what. So I'm going to go 0. I call it 0.1, which the 0 means it's in my like sound effects and other things that are not necessarily part of the panels, like the individual panels. It'll make sense too as I name other stuff. So it's going to be 0.1 intro. And then we are going to go back into my notes app. I'm going to hide my art app here in the background. Well, I guess I can show you this real quick. So the next one we're going to do is the outro. Let me scroll. And then we're going to do the outro. And basically this is where Bello says something that's relevant to the episode. And basically we want to say, oh God, let me, TikTok almost timed out. Hang on one sec. Okay, we're back. TikTok almost timed out again on my phone. I think it doesn't like that I'm recording a screen, even though I'm talking, but there's no actual movement in front of the screen. So, okay, we're good. So this one, basically the idea is to kind of recap what we just did in the episode, and also to try to get feedback, because I love hearing from people what they think of the episode, and depending on what's going on in the episode. They might have like funny input or creative something else to say or something unique to individual people, whatever it may be. So in this case, for this one, our line is I came up with a meaningful first, love, friendship, good food. Let's add an or in there. I think we need an or good food. What would you add to the list of life's treasures? So it's basically I'm asking you, what you would add to that, and it's a nice way to engage and get some comments and feedback. And I'm probably going to have to shorten this because this is pretty long. A meaningful first, love, friendship, food, good food. Meaningful. All right, meaningful first. Let's take love out of there. It's a little heavy. I can make this dialog box a little bit bigger too. I don't want to go too big. So we want everything to fit into 3 lines, basically. A meaningful first, friendship, or good food. I hate dashes for some reason. What would you add to the list? Let me try to edit this in here. I'm doing it there. It should be much easier. All right, maybe we just need something else. Let me ask Claude for some quick ideas. It's just too darn long. Can you give me some options for the outro? This one is way too long. Oops. I'll go ahead and paste it in there for him. And like for simple stuff like this, I mean, this is where AI is just a wonderful tool. What would you add to life's real treasure? All right, love, friendship, good food. What else makes life rich? That's not bad. What would you frame to mark a special moment? No. What's on your list of life's real treasures? Okay. Leave a comment now. Leave a comment. I think that works pretty good. What's on your list of life's real treasures? Leave a comment. All right, that works pretty good. I'm happy with that. I gotta remember I didn't even think to put that Here, let's gotta tweak this just slightly. Bear with me. Okay, that's our line now. That's much better. Save. Okay, I'm gonna re-export too since we changed the artwork slightly. I'm gonna re-export that. Yes, apply to all. I'm glad I noticed that. We would have had to go back and fix it anyway, so it's not a big deal, but I'd rather do it now. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my 4-panel right there on the desktop since I'm sidetracked. But let's go ahead and finish our audio. So we're going to tell the next line. We'll keep the same acting instructions. I think that's appropriate.
What's on your list of life's real treasures? Leave a comment.
That's not bad. We'll go with it. Rename. This is going to be 0.2 outro. All right, and now we can start diving into doing their dialogue. Bello. I'm going to go ahead and auto-generate for the acting instructions. In this case, it came up with the voices. The voice has a happy, grateful, and proud tone, which that's perfect for where Bello's hanging up the dollar. Go ahead and generate.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
All right, it's kind of flat. It's got some weird timing. I'm just going to hit generate again.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
That's not bad. It's a little wonky. I'm going to go ahead and save that one. It's not terrible by any means, but I feel like it could be a little better. In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed. Let's add a comma in after framed. I know grammatically not correct, but we got to trick the AI to make it sound the way we want. So we're going to go ahead and generate.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
That's nice. I like that better than the first one because he's enunciating a little bit more. He's a little bit more excited, which he should be. So let's go ahead and delete that one. Let me double check, make sure I deleted the right one.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
Okay.
In honor of our first order.
Didn't need to hit it again. All right, so this one I'm going to name a little differently. So now it's going to be 1.1 Bello. So 1.1 being panel 1 and dialogue 1. And I'm just going to go through and do these all. And what I do too is instead of having to like change the voices out on here, I do all the voices for one character first, and then do the next one after that. So let's see, what does he say? Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the A-team addicted to money? So I'm going to auto-generate for the acting. The voice is lighthearted, amused, and slightly mischievous. That could be good.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Oh, it added an extra laugh in there. That's pretty funny. I'm going to go ahead and add a comma after ATM. It didn't really pause. It kind of flew through there. And I'm going to change the comma here, speaking of money, to comma. And instead of comma, I'm going to put triple dots. Just hopefully it makes them pause a little bit more, change it up a little bit. I'll keep the acting the same. Let's hit generate and see what we get.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
That sounded a little funky.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Okay, yeah, that didn't work. All right, let's get rid of the comma in there. Did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money? You know what? Let's try to change the acting. Sometimes swapping out the acting does the trick. Amused, lighthearted, and a little mischievous. Yeah, all right.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Much better timing. He did a little weird breath at the end, but I can always trim that out if I need to. Like he was gonna laugh. Anyway, so we'll go, this is 2.1, Bello. Hit OK. Let me make sure my stream is still going. Yeah, we're still streaming. Woohoo. Bello, this is going to be panel 3. Again, same thing. Paste. Money is only temporary, bud, but love, or money's only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food, and then they kind of finish each other's sentences. So I'm going to auto-generate. The voice expresses sincere, warm, and appreciative love. Perfect. Let's hit generate.
Money is only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food.
It's not bad. It sounds like he's saying but instead of bud. Let's try it again. You know what? I might have to, let me try. Sometimes if you capitalize the word, he'll give you a better inflection.
Money is only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food.
Nice. Okay, nailed it. I'm going to go with that one. Let me make sure I got the right one here.
Money is only temporary, bud. Love, friendship, good food.
Nice. That sounds really natural. It's exactly what I want. So we got 3.1 Bello. So again, this is frame 3, dialogue 1, or panel 3, whatever you want to say there. All right, last one from Bello. I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste that in here. I'm gonna go at the acting instructions. The reason I do it every single time for a new line, sometimes even if the acting should be the same, it'll sound weird. It'll do some wonky stuff. And it'll sound AI, which is exactly what we don't want.
This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys.
All right, it's not bad. Let me make sure, is that the right dialogue even? I'm going to scroll back to the top. It's going to zoom by real fast. This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys. All right, yeah, that is the right line. So, seems a little. I guess I'm wondering if we need to talk about, does the dollar represents part need to be in there? I think so. I think it's okay to say it again there. Because it takes us full circle back to it. So let's go with it. I think I'm overthinking it, which I frequently do. So let's see. I didn't quite like the inflection there. This dollar represents dreams, partnership. And I've got an extra space there. I noticed that. Interesting. No, you don't see it there because it's at the end of the sentence. Anyway, sorry. Sidetrack. I'm just going to generate again. Keep the acting the same.
This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys.
Okay, much better. I like the way he focuses on I love you guys there at the end. That sounds really nice. Let me play it and make sure I got the right one.
This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys.
Okay, I like it. We can always come back and do a different one if we absolutely have to, but that feels pretty good. That feels pretty smooth. Bello, there we go. All right, Bello's lines are done. Let me go ahead and hide this again. Bello's lines are done. Next up, we're gonna go. Oh yeah, I gotta update that. That's now Bubba. I'm glad I noticed that. Let's go ahead and do Avery's line. He's only got the one line. I'm gonna change out the voice. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. Change. My voices. There we go. It's lagging a little bit. Avery. There he is. I'm going to auto-generate again for the acting like usual. The voice has a teasing, weary, and sarcastic tone. That sounds about right.
Only 1,000,000 times it had withdrawals.
Oh yeah, I was thinking I should punch up this line, huh? Yeah, that's right. Only 1,000,000 times. Yeah, okay. I need to change it. Tweak it slightly because I feel like Bello's line, I'm going to switch out to if I'm going to have a longer line here. Come back and do that in a minute. Let's line that up there. Only 1,000,000 times. Only 1,000,000 times, Bello. The ATM had withdrawals. The ATM had withdrawals. Withdrawals or withdraws? Withdraws. You know what? The way I always say it is like without an L. Okay. Yeah, it's subtle, but I think it's much better. So let's go with that. Now I gotta make sure, oh, I'm gonna chuck this because I gotta remember I updated my art. Only a million times Bello. The ATM had withdrawals. Okay, let's save, let's export. Remember, we gotta export all of our pictures again because we changed it. And if you see the camera shaking, it's because Harley's scratching her head right now. Right, bud? I know, you're itchy. It's okay. Don't worry. Look at your face. You're so cute, bud. All right, let's swap this out. And then we're gonna update the line in here too. Oh, I had copy instead of paste, darn it. Let's try that one more time. Copy, paste, woo. All right, let's generate again.
Only a million times Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
All right, see like how flat and just didn't sound good? Harley, can you stop scratching, please? You're making the whole table shake. Let's auto-generate the acting again. Sometimes it just gets stuck and it'll sound like AI, flat, monotone. I am telling you that only a million times Bello, the ATM had withdrawals. So sometimes if you just auto-generate the acting, it'll fix it. Harley Pie, you are seriously making the whole table move.
Only a million times Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Okay, it's much better, but it's a little like too harsh. You know what I mean?
Only a million times Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Why does it sound like his voice changed? That was weird.
Only a million times Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Okay, he's just too angry. Let's change the. Sometimes I do it myself, so I'm gonna do slightly. Is that how you spell slightly? No, I missed it. Okay. Voice sounds slightly annoyed. I'm gonna change it to that, and then hit generate.
Only a million times Bello.
Holy
The ATM.
crap. He's supposed to be slightly annoyed. Let's try generating again.
Only a million times Bello.
Wow. Okay. See, sometimes the acting instructions just do not work. Frustrated and annoyed. Irritated, annoyed. Let's just go impatient. It's trying too hard to make this like more than I think it is. Let's just see if I'm gonna change it to just say impatient and go ahead and generate.
Only a million times Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Yay! Look at that. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and save that one. That is Avery is 2.2. So this one's going to be panel 2 and dialogue 2, and it's Avery. So that's how I name them to keep track of them easy. All right, so now we're going to go. We got Avery. He's only got one line. So now we're going to change to Bubba. My voice is Bubba selected. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to auto-generate the acting. Yeah, that looks good.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
That's not bad. Let me play it again.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
You know, I'll go ahead and save it. I think we can do better. Let's try generating again.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
See, this is where AI sounds like AI. The way he says Bello, just like the way the timing and the inflection is just weird.
What a great idea, Bello.
Like, what a great idea, Bello! Like, no, you wouldn't talk like that.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
It looks fancy, comma. He's not taking a breath right there, which I want, or at least like a half a pause.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
All right, yeah, he's struggling. Let's auto-generate the acting. Sometimes that does the trick, and then hit generate.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
All right, if you didn't get so high squealed, that actually sounded pretty good as far as inflection, but...
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Okay, that's pretty good. The what a great idea, Bello sounds weird. Like the transfer from idea to Bello sounds odd.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks...
Like, what a great idea, Bello. Like, nobody talks like that.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Okay, that one nails it. So let's go with that one. It's just like slightly different timing makes all the world in this thing like actually looking or sounding the way it's supposed to. Let's make sure I grab the
What a
right
great
one.
idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Is that the right one?
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Yeah, okay. And that's going to be bubble 1. So I'm going to rename this. So it's going to be panel 1, dialogue 2, and it's Bubba. All right, so we've got a few more to go, and then we're going to do the... All right, we'll do panel 3, and then we're going to set up the video. We're almost there. I know, it's a lot of freaking work, I'm telling you. But, you know, it's a labor of love, and it comes out really good.
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
All right, that's not bad. Let's hear, it's going to be, this plays off of Bello 3.1. So I'm going to play them both.
Money is only temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
That's not bad. I kind of wish, and knowing y'all got my back, I wish that sounded a little bit different. So, you know what, let's go ahead and we'll just try generating again. I got a feeling this might be when I split into 2 pieces. I do this quite often, where I want different inflections for different parts of the sentence, or different parts of the dialogue. Let's go ahead and just generate and see what we get.
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
That's actually not bad. Let me hear Bellows one more time.
Money is only temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
This dollar represents dreams.
Whoops.
Part
Sorry. Oh, darn it, I didn't save that one. Let's just generate again. It feels a little off.
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
What if I had triple dots in front of it so it feels more like he's just flowing right into it, and like kind of instead of having such a harsh start, if that makes sense?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
money is only temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fish.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
Let me play it one more time.
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
Okay, we're gonna use, we might just use that whole thing, but I think what I want to do now is, even if I have to chop it for the second part, I want to hear what, and knowing y'all got my back. I want that to have like a slightly different tone.
And knowing y'all got my back.
So here is, oh, that's not gonna work. Let me try, let me auto-generate.
And knowing y'all got my back.
That's probably gonna work better. So this is gonna have the whole thing. So, and knowing y'all got my back, it'll have the original one, and then I'm gonna also play the second one. And that way you can see what the difference is. And if by cutting that first one out and sticking the second one in, I think this is gonna come out a lot better and sound more natural.
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back. And knowing y'all got my back.
See how it's like slightly different? So the second one, it's he takes a little more time saying it, which I think feels more natural. So I'll cut those together in the video app in Adobe Premiere. So this is going to be 3.2 Bubba. And then the second one, since I have these in different files, what I'm going to call this is 3.2.1 Bubba. And let's get our last line. We're almost there. We're going to get to the video very shortly, and then we get to post. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste again. I'm going to hit the auto-generate for the acting. It just really helps to make it sound more natural. If you leave the previous one in there, I don't know why, but a lot of times the AI will just be like, nah, and sound just, you know, very monotone. I'm going to tell you a story like it's a robot. So doing that has been like a lifesaver.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
All right, that's not bad. Let me double check, make sure my phone is still recording. Yep. All right, we're still looking good on there. Make sure TikTok's not kicking me off.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
What and oh, because he's see, this is where the auto generate for the acting sometimes is way the hell off. The voice has light, playful, but firm tone. That's more like what I was hoping for. Let's try it again.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
That's nice. Very clean, solid. Let's try a couple more just for sake of it.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
That's not bad. I like that.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
You know what? Sometimes I keep two.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them. Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
You know what? I might cut these two together. Because just like the other one, sometimes when you have two different, sorry, Bubba, let me name this real quick. 4.2. Sometimes just doing them separately, the timing of the voice is just a hair different, and it makes all the difference. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop those two together to create what I really want. All right, we got all of our audio. That wasn't too bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna put them in the same folder as my art, and then we get to the fun stuff. So we're gonna put this all together in the video. Sorry, I had to wave my hand in front of the camera to make sure TikTok realizes that somebody's actually here. All right, so this is my last episode with all the stuff from it in there, and I use this as my starting point, kind of like we did with the Adobe Illustrator and setting up the panels. It just gives me a good starting point. I'm not like creating everything completely from scratch. So let's get in here. So what we're going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the artwork from the old one. So we already got the art, and here's all the art for the new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of that. Let's make sure that it doesn't copy over my outro here. Okay, I think we're good. So I put in all the artwork, and then we're going to go ahead and, I'm going to slide this over. I know you guys won't see it because I'm going to have it on my, or I know you can see it if you're, YouTube won't see it, but you guys on TikTok with my Jimmy Rig camera, iPhone camera setup recording my screen will see it. I'm going to start bringing the dialogue. So this first part, that's going to be the intro. So that's going to be 0.1 intro. Just going to drag that in here. And then I'm going to also go ahead and I'm going to slide this stuff over. We'll move this back over. But this is going to be the outro. Part of it I already have set up, and it's the same every time. But the other part is where we talk about what's going on in the episode. So let's take a look at, let me move these over, bear with me. Come on, slide over. Thank you. All right, I'm going to slide this audio over a little bit. We'll start from the beginning. Oh no, I didn't update it there. Okay, we got to fix one thing too.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up.
Wait, what? I'm confused. Oh no, okay. Let me, I got to fix this art. God, I keep opening the wrong thing. Hello, I'm Bello. So I'm going to go back into my art, my comic art, and we're going to go to the, no, I opened the wrong one, sorry. Let me do it from here. Too many windows open. There we go. All right, so we're going to go, I didn't. This is episode 26, Dollar Up. So we hit save. The nice thing is when I update that in here, is that all the way up there? Sorry, bear with me one sec. I just redid the intro outro, so it's a little, there might be some little things I gotta fix. Sorry for all the crazy scrolling. Yeah, so if you can, probably you can't even see it, but this dialog box should be lining up right there where the top of my mouse is. But instead, it's just a bit off, a little bit higher. I gotta make sure it lines up on that. So anyway, got that fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and export again. We're gonna export all our PNGs, and we're gonna hit OK, export, apply to all. Yes, we're gonna replace all of them. And the nice thing is, the Adobe Premiere, my video program, automatically updates as soon as see, but it came in perfectly. So here's gonna be, this is the intro. Check it out.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up.
And then it has a little pause there and a little beep noise. It's almost like you would see on like TV or movie production. You know, it's a little audio clue that the scene is starting. And I use that. It's a great way to kind of get you from the intro to the dialogue and the action of the video, and really quickly. So let me double check. Sorry, I keep looking at the back of my phone because I want to make sure TikTok isn't kicking me off here. I did that earlier. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, oh, let me do the last. I'm going to do the same thing for the outro.
What's on your list of life's real treasures? Leave a comment.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Okay, bye.
All right, so there's the outro. One thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to bump the visual part, the image, slightly in front of the dialogue. It flows smoother. If you have the dialogue and the visual pop up at the same time, for whatever reason, it's hard for your brain to click on, you know, see both. And so if you do this, we'll just move it slightly, it makes it easier. So anyway, we got that. I'm going to go ahead and hide the, why is it not hiding? Did I miss something? Toggle, mute, toggle. Oh, okay, I can't hide it that way. I'm going to go ahead and delete. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this in darkness, if you will. I delete all the artwork, the visual representation of what's going on. And I'm going to go ahead and paste in my, or put in my dialogue. And I want to do it without seeing the visual. And the reason I do this is it's easier to focus on what they're saying and make sure it flows smoothly without the visual, because you're just listening to it with your ear. And so you hear little subtleties, and like if one of the characters says a word and it needs like maybe, or it says a line of dialogue and you feel like it needs a little bit more space at the end before the next person's dialogue comes in, it's easier to do that without visually seeing anything. I don't know why, but it just is. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and place in all the dialogue. So we start with Bello. I'm gonna pop that over just a hair like I usually do. Bello 1, then we got Bubba. So Bubba 1.2, he's right there. And the nice thing about my my video program is it basically puts everything together for you. Why is my, sorry, I gotta fix one thing real quick here. Okay, now we're good. This is my background track, so all the like noise you would hear, like in the room of the deli, maybe there's a hum of an air conditioner. You might hear cars going by outside. That's what's all on this track, and it's help you kind of anchor down and sound like it's really happening, like you're really in the space. So now we're gonna go to Bello 2 and put that there. Then we've got Avery. Avery is on the second line here, 2.2. Then we got Bello 3, 3.1. Then we got Bello 3. Or no, then we got Bubba. And Bubba has, we have it split into 2 lines. So we're gonna go ahead and put both of those on there. We'll get all of those figured out and chopped up and all that fun stuff. And then we've got Bello again, Bello 4. And then we got Bubba 4. I'm gonna make sure like all these line up correctly. These are all the right dialogues, everything. I know we have to chop some dialogue in one or two of them, but let's hear.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello.
Okay, right away, I feel like Bubba jumping in there really fast sounds a little weird, so I want him to have a half a breath. And so I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. I'm going to start at the beginning. And this is kind of going to be how this goes, kind of back and forth and back and forth.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money,
Okay, so we got a couple things going on there. One, I think I gave it a little too much space. I'm going to just select that, which is Avery's line, or Bubba's line, sorry. Move that over. And I also feel like his dialogue is a hair quiet. So I'm going to add a little bit of, I'm going to do an audio gain. So basically making it louder. I'm just going to add 2, which isn't a whole lot, but it's just slightly more. So hopefully their voices should be on about the same level as far as loudness, as far as strength.
in honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money,
Okay, so that, now we go back to Bello. I think I want him to come in a little faster at the end of Bubba's line, and I also want to move Bubba in. The space still feels just a little bit too big. Sorry, a little bit too big. Ugh, I'm choking. I should have made tea today. I can't believe I forgot tea. All right, we're going to slide that over just a hair. There we go. And let me go ahead and move Avery. Is that Avery? All right, let's go back here. We'll go back to the beginning.
in honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello.
All right, that sounds pretty good. Timing sounds like much better. I mean, you might not notice it, but I definitely do, where it's just the right amount of breath and pause between. I like that Bello comes in pretty quick at the end of Bubba's line. That feels good. I think I need to, I'm going to zoom in here so I can see a little better. I'm going to go ahead and have Avery come in a little faster. I like that little breath that AI did for at the end of Bubba's line or Bello's line, so I think I might keep that, and almost maybe it's like an exhale from Avery, where he's like, "Oh God, really?" kind of, you know. So I think I'm going to add that over here, and I'm going to slide this over a little bit, and let's see what we get.
The ATM addicted to money?
Only a million.
Let me zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, we'll go back. You know, I mean, I want to hear it from Bubba's line. Bubba 1.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello. The ATM.
All right, we're gonna get rid of that little breath thing. That doesn't quite work. And also, I feel like Bello comes in just a hair early at the end of Bubba's line. I'm gonna move. I think I need to give just a hair of space. It's all just fine tuning. And you know, like I said, subtle. I mean, like less than a second of timing, but it does make a difference. All right, let's go from middle of Bubba to Bubba 1.
Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
All right, I'm gonna bump up. I feel like Bubba's line needs just a little bit more, so we'll go 2 more decibels. And let's see what we got.
Mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
It's such a shit joke. It's still funny though. All right, so then we got that. So now we're gonna move over. This is Bello. What is this? 3, I think. Either way, I'm good. I got them all laid out. So I'm going to slide stuff over. Here, let's take a listen to this one. I think this is one where I got to cut off the line from Bubba.
Biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back. And knowing y'all got my back.
Okay, yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in. And I think it starts right there.
Granny's biscuit recipe.
Nope, it starts right there. All right, so what I can do is I can just slide this over and make that easy. I'm going to update this one too. Sometimes, you know, the audio level as far as gain is different from, you know, dialogue to dialogue. The AI will speak a little louder, a little quieter. So you have to tweak these a little bit. So let me zoom back out. And I can also move Bello's line over. Let's see how that flows. Go ahead and slide that over.
The ATM had withdrawals.
Money is only temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
This dollar represents...
That's pretty good. I think Bello there needs to move over just a hair. Let me zoom in. I think Bubba can come in a hair sooner here. Because it's almost like they're like he's finishing Bello's thought with the list of things, you know.
Temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
This dollar represents dreams.
All right, let's move over Bello just a hair because it's a new thought, so I don't want it to be too close. And then let's see about this one from Bubba.
Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them. Sweet gesture. Now
all right, I like the sweet gesture of the first one, and then the earning. Let's focus on better from the second one. That should be pretty close. We'll start over here.
my back.
This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
All right, that's not bad. I think I got to give him a little space here. It's a little too tight.
Chance together. I love you guys.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
Okay. Yep, and that's the end. Oh, you know what? Here you can really hear the my background track. Here, I'll play it for you some. Like there's a car going on by in the background. It might be a little hard to hear, but it just makes it feel more real. And like the voices, you know, just like when you're in a room, there's like echoes and bouncing off the wall a little bit. So that I've added that in there to make it sound more real and to really put you in the scene. And then I've got like a little outro thing which ends the scene, so you know, like, okay, the video's basically done. It's and I use the sound of a microwave, so it kind of makes sense with, you know, having a deli. Let me get the. Let me bring in the artwork real quick, and we'll get those lined up. You'll see it all kind of come together. So I'm going to slide over a little bit. I don't need the very first one because I already have it put in there. Dink. All right, so we're in.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
All right, so now you can see like it's all coming together with the graphics too. I gotta move this one over a little bit, and all you do is you line it up with the audio cues. I will move these over like just a hair, like I was mentioning before. You don't want these exactly lined up where the audio starts for a character. So like right here, I'll go ahead and play it for you so you can see. But it's weird. If the audio and the visual are exactly together, it doesn't feel right. It feels off. It's almost like, what was that? Like kind of thing. And so what I do is I offset it a little bit. But I'll show you.
And official.
Speaking of money,
You see how like harsh it is when it clicks over to the new graphic, and then the audio is right there immediately. So what I do is I take the video or the graphic, and I move it over slightly. So here's the revised version.
It looks fancy and official.
speaking of money, did I tell you?
See that? So it's literally like a half a second. The graphic comes in a half a second faster, but it almost feels completely natural, like they're coming in at the same time. So that's a little weird trick I learned doing this. It took me a while to figure that out because it's just like, why is this off? It's like perfectly lined up, and it's just, it's just a weird thing. So let's go ahead and so we're gonna move this one over, do the same thing where it's just slightly over. You know what? Let me do it this way. Dink. Slide that over just a hair. There we go. It's just a little bit more than it was giving me. I slide that over, then this one can start there. That's right, pretty much right on the money. This one is lining up there. Again, pop. Like as soon as it gives you that little pop, you know you went over just the right amount. Let's put that one there. This one slides over, and I'm gonna go boom. Again, just like it naturally wants to line up there, so I give it that little pop. It slides over just the right amount. Okay, that one is good there. I'm gonna go there. Let's make sure. Yep, that's all good. All right, so that's our whole thing. Now I just got to line up the outro. No, I didn't need that one. I already have it over here. So I'm going to slide the outro, and that's going to start after our. Here, I'll show it to you. Like I said, it's kind of like what we did at the intro with the beep. And in this case, it's a microwave sound instead. Same idea, but pulling on kind of like the deli thing. Episode's done, ding, or it's done cooking. You kind of get the idea. And then here I'll play you the outro.
What's on your list of life's real treasures? Leave a comment.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Okay, bye.
That's right. I did repeat. So this is like my theme music that I use. I remember I brought it over here because I wanted to see, because this is a new intro and outro, and I wanted to see if I wanted to use the music again. But I don't think I do. We can always put it back. So let's watch the whole thing, see how it flows, and make sure everything lines up. And we'll watch it probably a couple times. We're listening to how well the dialogue flows. We're looking at how well it matches on the screen. We'll probably do a second watch through just to see it again. And we're also going to read the dialogue boxes. Do the dialogue boxes match what the voices are saying? Because I've had that too, where I didn't remember to copy and paste, like I was showing you earlier, the dialogue into my script, and so I had an old version, and it was like literally like one or two words, but it was different, and it drove me nuts because I didn't notice it until after I posted it on all the social medias, and then I was like, oh great, now it's gonna be there forever. So let's watch it a couple times, and then we're ready for posting.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up. In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Money is only temporary.
Let's pause there. This is one of the reasons why I watched it a few times. For whatever reason, this panel isn't updated. I don't know why. So let's go take a look at my artwork files here. Oh, hang on one sec. Yeah, I'm going to wave in front of the camera just to tease TikTok to make sure it doesn't think we've stopped streaming, since I'm just recording recording my monitor. Okay, let's see what the heck's going on. Yeah, okay, I thought I updated that. Maybe I didn't. Let's take a look. All right, so I know I put that. I did that. Oh, you know what? I bet you. Yep, 100%. I updated it in my 4 panel, but I didn't update it in the video version. And this is, this is part of the problem with trying to do this with so much stuff going on, and then you're changing it. It's tough. So I'm going to go ahead and, let me go ahead and go and grab a voice bubble from up here, or the thought bubbles for Avery from up here, because I only need the 3 since the dialogue sticks down further now. Sorry for the scrolling. I know this hopefully doesn't make you seasick. It does me, because I've got I definitely get seasickness and car sickness and stuff. So seeing something zoom by that fast would probably be not happy to my eye. Okay, so we got that. Let's save. I'm going to export. Again, it exports all the pictures for us. Hit replace. Yes, that's good. I'm going to hit apply all. So it's going to swap out all the pictures, even though I only need that one, but no skin off of my back. It automates it, so why not? And we go back here and boom, it updated it for us. All right, so let's go back. We'll start at the beep.
In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Money is only temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys.
Sweet
Oh, no.
gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
What's on your list of life's real treasures? Leave a comment.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, I saw another one. We got another fix. Bello. His mouth isn't open. He's not talking, and Bubba's mouth is. So I was in a hurry. So what is that? That's gotta be. Oops, wrong one. We're gonna go back into that one in a minute, but only a million times. All right, so he's talking there. We're good. His mouth is Bella's closed. Avery or Bubba's open. We're good. Ah, okay. Links. Let's see. This is 4-1. So let's go ahead and edit that. Edit original. Copy. You know what? I'm going to use a happy face because he's saying something and he's very happy and he's proud of his buddies. It's a very cool occasion. So we're going to go with the happy mouth, open mouth. Go ahead and delete that. Put that there. I think I'm going to give him some eyebrows too because he's very happy and very proud. So the eyebrows are definitely appropriate there. Going to go ahead and flip. Save that there. I think we might keep the eyebrows on Bubba too. I'm going to select that. And we're going to give him a closed smile at least though. Because he's happy too. You know, these guys are, this is their adventure, their life adventure together to some extent. I know it's Bello's Deli, but these guys are quickly becoming best buds and, you know, very happy together. All right, let's go ahead and hit save, video 1. Update, there we go. All right, now that I'm seeing it in front of me, let's go ahead and get rid of the eyebrows for Bubba. I like the smile, but the eyebrows look a little funky. And go ahead and update one more time. That takes care of the eyebrows. And I noticed too that our dialog box is slightly off. Let's move that over. And then we're gonna go to the next one. And that one's okay. So let's export. Again, same thing. We're just going to replace what we have. And the Premiere, Adobe Premiere, the video app is going to go ahead and update it on its own just by us replacing it, which is nice. Makes it easy. Save. I'm going to hide that. Close that. Hide that app. There we go. And it updated. So now we're talking. So now we should be good. Yep. So I'm going to play it from the beginning again. I'd like doing this because this is where I catch little stuff like what we just caught. I can check the dialogue, I can read the dialogue, all that good stuff.
Hello, I'm Bello. This is episode 26, Dollar Up. In honor of our first order yesterday, I got this dollar framed to mark the occasion.
What a great idea, Bello. It looks fancy and official.
Speaking of money, did I tell you the one about the ATM addicted to money?
Only a million times, Bello. The ATM had withdrawals.
Money is only temporary, but love, friendship, good food?
Family, a good fishing spot, Granny's biscuit recipe, and knowing y'all got my back.
This dollar represents dreams, partnership, and taking this crazy chance together. I love you guys.
Sweet gesture. Now let's focus on earning dollars, not framing them.
What's on your list of life's real treasures? Leave a comment.
Please support us by liking and sharing.
And don't forget to follow.
Okay, bye.
All right, that's pretty darn good. I'd say it's coming together nicely. I think I am going to do one thing. It's not a big deal. But I think I want to you know what? No. Let's go with it. This is stuff I can tweak. In the outro, there's one thing that I'm just like, it could be a little better, but I will sit here and I will play with this until the cows come home. So I'm going to slide over my stuff here. I'm just going to copy my title from here, and I'm going to go ahead and export this. So I'm going to export the video, hit media, change the title, and hit export. I've already done all the settings and everything, so that stays the same. I just got to hit the export button. This doesn't take too long. Oh God, I didn't check one thing. One thing I always want to make sure is these episodes are a minute long, at least a minute long. And let's see, whoops, scroll too far. Oh, we're a little short. You know, I think we're going to go with it today, but ultimately I want these to be a minute long, because I think TikTok requires, for getting paid for these things to post these, they gotta be at least a minute long. I gotta double check. I don't even know if that applies to these ones that I'm uploading. This may be more specific to like product placement or advertising and things like that. But in any case, we don't have enough time. It's already 4:13, and our little puppy, she is dying to go for a walkie. So anyway, so there's the final, that's on my desktop. I'm gonna copy that to my folder so it's in there too. I am also gonna take the 4-panel one and bring it over here so I can, now we're just gonna post on social. All the fun creative stuff is pretty much done. Let me make sure everything looks good here. Talking, yes, Yeah, we're all good. I'm basically ready to go. I need to update. I have some text that I use for posting on socials. Bello Bear, Bello Bear F26, $1 up. And then basically like a little short description. The one where celebrating small wins gets unexpectedly deep. Watch and follow on YouTube, and then I will paste the link to the YouTube one. My next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and hide Hume. We're done with that. Let me have another cough drop. My throat is really dry, and I'm not taking breaks from talking. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some hashtags. I'm going to hide Claude. I don't need him for hashtags. I actually use Google Gemini, another AI. They all kind of have good uses, so I'm not shy about using them. Hey Gem, here's the next episode. Can you give me five hashtags? Oops, hashtags for TikTok virals. Viral? I don't know. She'll know what the hell I'm talking about. I constantly ask her the same stuff, so she'll know. And then hit submit. It's going to analyze the comic strip and give me some ideas for what we want to say. Small business owner, first sale, webcomic. All right, we always use FYP. That's a given. Friendship goals, webcomic, small business, yeah, all right. You know what, these aren't too bad. I feel like they could maybe be a little bit better, but for the sake of time, because like I said, I will obsess with this for hours and hours and hours, and we're already, what are we? What does it tell me how long we've been? We've been at least a good 3+ hours working on this. It takes a lot of time. And mind you, I already had the script ready to go. That was a separate thing. And just making the comic and getting that ready to go. And I'm not super graphics heavy, but it just takes a long time to make these things. Anyway, we've got our hashtag. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start posting. I'm going to go, I basically have like all my tabs set up for all the different socials and everything. So first one I'm going to do is I'm going to upload to, upload video. There we go. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. And I'm going to go, go ahead and get my text in here. This is where the description goes. And our hashtags. Upper part is the title. Bello Bear at 26, dollar up. Description, hashtags. I have two, and on YouTube I have two playlists. I have the episodes, which this is, and then the other one, the non sequiturs. I call them the bits. Those are the ones where Bello and Avery are doing open mic night comedy. And so I have two different playlists just to keep them separated. That all looks good. No, it's not made for kids. I try to keep everything PG-13, but if you specifically say it's for kids, it better be for kids. And then this part, I link the previous episode, add related video. So like if you go on YouTube and you're watching this, it'll have a link to the previous episode. So, and if you wanted to, you could basically binge these just by clicking next episode. Hit next. Copyright's fine. There's no copyright stuff. And hit publish. And then I copy my link to the YouTube video. I paste it there, and now I'm ready to go. Paste this on put this on all the other socials. I can hit close there. I will need to go back and do one thing, but I need my phone to do that, and we're recording with that right now, so we won't worry about that right now. Then I just drag. So basically what I do now is every social, including YouTube, I post the video version and then also the picture version, the 4-panel like classic comic version. I paste my description and everything in there, hit post. That one's done. Then we got Instagram. I'm going to hit create, post, drag.
Hello, I'm Bello.
And this one I got to do one thing. I got to change the format. For some reason, it doesn't auto-detect.
In honor of
Anyway, next. And now we're just copying and pasting. Share. Let's take some minutes to upload the video. We're almost there. What does that say? Oh, okay. Sorry, got a message on my phone. We're almost there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching all this. I know this is long and, time consuming, but, if you got nothing else to do and you're hanging out, you're at work and you're working on stuff, you want to have me in the background, we can chat a little bit here and there. It's like we're almost like we're working together. It's nice. I like it. And we're going to create, post. So this is straightforward. At this point, if you're bored with this, you can get off of here. But I'll take the time to tell you. So the reason I'm shooting the video this way, with my camera, my phone pointed at the screen, is because I've got a Mac and TikTok for whatever reason hasn't made the TikTok Studio available for the Mac. From what I've gathered, I think it's in beta development and it's in testing. But until it's done, I'm kind of stuck. There's no easy way for me to do lives without TikTok Studio. The way you do it on a Mac is that you use other apps. In my case, I'm using OBS. There's a couple other versions of that, but OBS lets you live stream and it lets you share your screen and all kinds of cool stuff. And that's if you caught the video on the YouTube version. Hi Bear, we're almost done. Come on up. Hup. Poor little bear. She wants to go to the park. There you are. Come on, sit down. Sit. You gotta sit down. I can't see through you, bud. So I gotta do that, but to be able to use OBS and to live stream, you need a stream key from, okay, hold on. I don't know what I'm doing now. Don't save. I'm getting sidetracked here. I'll get video first and then we'll go back and do that. Okay, cool. I'm getting myself distracted. You need a stream key from TikTok. And unfortunately, it's really hard, almost impossible to get a stream key. And there's I thought I figured out how to do it. I had it working. I did like a test stream on, I think it was Friday. Worked great. Came back Monday, or maybe it was Thursday, Friday. Anyway, it came back the next day. Tried again, and stopped working. And it's been really a big struggle to get that to work. And I thought I'd figured out another way, but that didn't work. Long story short, I basically need to go through a creative partner, I think they call it now. They used to call it an agency, but tag teaming with them, or be partnering with them, they'll actually provide me that stream key, and I'll be able to go live and have this done proper. So I won't be recording my screen with my phone. I mean, at least I got it going, and you guys get to see what the heck I'm doing. So anyway, that's kind of been the whole kerfuffle of why I can't get this to work properly. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna mess something up if I get sidetracked. So video first. Paste my title, introduction, the link to the YouTube version. I'm really trying to get people to, not everybody likes TikTok. So for those people, I want them to follow me on YouTube. So I'm really trying to boost up the numbers over there and get a lot of people on there. So we're almost there. I got a few more to do, and then we'll get off here. Probably another 10 minutes or so, I'm guessing. Almost there. So yeah, I'm really excited about streaming every single day, because I literally work on these every day, and I'd love to be able to share that and just get a good following and people that want to chat with me. Almost like we're working together. I think that's really fun and really cool, and obviously to show off my techniques and stuff too, because I know plenty of my friends on TikTok. You guys are comic book artists and animators and whatever else, and I'm sure you've got passion projects that you'd love to do, and if this helps anybody kind of figure out how to do it, that's fantastic. I love that idea. Pay it forward. I've learned so much from so many different artists over the years. It's crazy that I wouldn't be who I am without it, and so being able to pay that forward is a really nice thing. And I think this upload stalled out, so I'm going to start the next one. Video. My internet's been a little wonky. Probably need to restart the router and all that fun stuff. No, yeah, this one looks like it's stuck. That's the last thing I need today. Internet troubles on top of everything else. Make sure our stream is still going. Yep, we're going. We're going, man. Processing. All right, let me reload. That sucks. Yeah, it didn't go. Let's try one more time. Uploading. This one's processing. Cool. All right, we'll do the post on here. This is gonna be the image one. Let's go back here. That's still uploading. Usually I like doing it per social site, so I don't miss something and get sidetracked. But all right, post. Okay, good. We'll get to the image version. That one goes fast. Post. Yes. That's asking me if I want to add alt text, for excuse me, for like hearing challenged, but or visually challenged. But I've got the video version with the audio, so anybody that's challenged one way or another can actually go see that one. Was this good? We got the video. Oh, all right, we're good there. Now we're going on to Reddit. Reddit's a little different. Paste. They don't like hashtags. I get rid of those. This top part is just the title. And I drag my video in. It's thinking. We're almost there. Okay, you can see this is like crazy time-consuming stuff. You know, each one we're at 4. I think I started about 1 o'clock. I started my first stream, which ended up getting cut off. But let me go ahead and post. But it takes me a solid 3 to 4 hours, depending on how intricate the episode is. Like if I have a boatload of artwork to do, it's not just you know, straightforward like the other one was, or straightforward like today's is. When I have to create like new character poses and stuff, it can take a really long time. Oh shoot! Copy. I need that to be set to video and image read. There we go. Post. And on Reddit, what I end up doing is, let me go ahead and approve the post. On Reddit, I end up having to, instead of posting it like to different communities, you do a cross post. So this one, like I'll go to comics. And then the other thing you got to do is you got to add an OC for original content. Different communities want to make sure that if you're posting stuff, you're allowed to post it. That either you're that you're the creator basically. OC, hit post. It's done. We're gonna do the same thing for the image version. Share, cross post, paste the OC in there, and then I'm gonna select the community, which is comics. Hit OK. Hit post. And then I'm gonna do it a couple more times for. I'm just gonna share the image version because there's 2 more communities. There's webcomics and comic strips, and neither one of them like videos. So this is where I do just the video version. I'm going to select my community as webcomics. Hit post. And one more time for Reddit, cross post, paste the OC. I'm going to select, we did, this is going to be comic strips. And hit post. Close. And then we're done with Reddit. We got a few more to do. Next up, we're going to do LinkedIn. I know that's not the most obvious one, is it? But I'll go ahead and close that. You know what? I'm on there for my graphics and marketing work, and I've got, I don't know, probably like 1,000 people or something that I'm connected with on here. So I like posting it on here. Why not? It doesn't get a ginormous following, but it definitely, it's definitely worth it. And this is like another, 30 seconds out of my time. So why not? So I posted to do. I have my personal page, and I also created a Bello Bear company page. So I do it on both of those. It's uploading right now, so I'll go ahead and do the video. Oh, I got to do it this way. Paste. And it tries to put the link in for the visual from the YouTube link. So I just have to delete that and then hit post. Let's make sure it goes through. All right, let's just go ahead and go because it's dragging its butt. I think I need to restart the router. Internet's been a little laggy the last couple days here. Let's LinkedIn. Let's give it a second. Okay, good. This one is Lemmy, which is a lot like Reddit. If you're on Reddit, and I don't know, some people get frustrated with Reddit. If you want a good alternative, Lemmy's pretty great. Obviously not quite as big, but pretty good. Pretty good communities. Create posts. Let's copy all of our stuff. I think I already had it copied, but I'm going to copy the title, put that up here, delete the extra space. I'm going to choose the image. These guys don't like video on here either. You pretty much only get to paste a link so I don't bother with that. I delete the hashtags. I don't care about hashtags here either. Bello Bear title, image, and I put in the link to the YouTube, so if somebody wants to watch it. Hit create. We're almost there. And then this one I'm going to do the same thing. This is another cross post. This one I just go to comics. They have a couple others, but they're pretty small, and you know, if it saves me a minute of my time, it's worth it. And select my comics. There we go. And hit create. And we're done there. Woohoo! So the only thing I got left is I got to post to TikTok and then Lemonade, which is also basically TikTok. It's like their sister site. But that's it. So let's flip this camera around, and we'll get this thing off of here. Or, you know, I'm just gonna pull it off of here, off my stand. I got like a gimbal thing. Hey, honey, it's almost time for the walkies. She's so cute. Look at this little bear. You've been so patient. What a sweetheart. What a cutie pie. Yeah, you've been really patient. Thank you. All right, let's flip this camera around. Flip camera. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to post on TikTok and Lemonade next, but I got to do it on my phone. Oh, and then I got to fix one thing. YouTube, for whatever reason, I can't change the thumbnail unless I do it on the phone. That's the weirdest, dumbest thing. But anyway, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll post on TikTok and Lemonade, and hope you guys enjoy the comic, and I hope you had fun watching me do this live. I'm definitely going to keep doing it live. Our plan is to do this every day. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I want to do the episodes, and then Tuesday, Thursday, I want to do script writing. Even though on the screen it's probably not going to look that exciting, but I figured, you know, for my fellow artists, anybody that's interested in writing, that'll be pretty interesting to see how the script comes together. You know, I use AI, my buddy Claude there, for helping me write. And it's a pretty cool process. I figured, you know what, if it works for me, somebody else might have an idea or even something similar, and they can use that knowledge. And, yeah, it's just nice to share too. I like getting on here and chatting with you guys, and I'm going to work on this stuff anyway. So if I can share it with you, that's fun, and I get to chat with you too. That's really cool. Anyway, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Don't forget to check out the comic and like, of course, and send me lots of hearts and all that fun stuff. Okay, bye. Okay. There. I gotta do two things and then we go, okay? Let me get that plugged in. Oops. Sorry, honey. All right. Let me end the live stream on here too. Hello, YouTube friends. So that was it. That was the whole thing. I had to say goodbye on the phone to my TikTok friends. I almost choked on my cough drop. What the hell was that? Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna. The ultimate plan is I want to stream live to both TikTok and YouTube, and I've got everything set up. I'm using OBS, and I can show you guys actually what it looks like. Let's hide that. This is OBS. It makes it so you can like live stream to multiple places, and you even got your chat in there and stuff. You know, and obviously this is what you guys are seeing on YouTube. But for whatever reason, TikTok is being a pain in the ass about it, and it's really hard to go live. I don't know why, but it is. So I think I'm almost there. So from my understanding is, you know, TikTok is working on a Mac version. For anybody else that's interested in this thing, they are working on a Mac app, and it's in beta at this point. I tried to see if there's a way I can get on the beta team or anything, but I wasn't able to track anything down, and the latest updates and anything I saw was a few months ago. So who knows? I mean, it could literally like be out by now, and I just didn't see it yet. Excuse me, or it's, you know, it's coming out tomorrow or next week, or who knows. But I'm ready to stream now, and so the way I figured this out is And if you got any guys are interested in doing this, if you look around, it used to be called an agency. So you'd go through an agency, which is basically a partner of TikTok. I don't know exactly 100% how they work, but they make profit from helping people, stream on TikTok and all that fun kind of stuff. And they don't actually take any money from you, but TikTok actually pays them. So you or I as a streamer would get you get paid the same amount for anything you get from TikTok, but they will also get some money for helping basically streamers get on there. And anyway, I'm yapping on. So bottom line is, once I get that set up, I applied with them over the weekend. They said good to go. I'm supposed to get a welcome package email within 24 to 48 hours. So hopefully later today. I haven't checked my email. It might be there already. But they're going to give me a stream key. And that's exactly what I need to be able to paste into OBS and then to be able to live stream. And then that way you can see I actually have right here at the bottom of the screen there, I have my YouTube stream and my TikTok stream, but because I don't have the stream key, it's not solid green like you see. Once I have that stream key, pop that in there, hit broadcast, and I'm good to go. And I'll be able to just stream seamlessly to both places, which is ultimately what I want to do. And the reason for it is because, not everyone likes TikTok. So I might end up streaming to a couple other places, but just to get the maximum exposure out there. So I need both. So that's it. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to do this pretty much every single day. Like I was saying goodbye on TikTok. I'm going to do this YouTube every single day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are going to be the episodes like I did today, showing how everything's put together, the art's put together, the videos put together, how I do the voices, everything. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to do a little bit different, and it's going to be script writing, how I get from writing a story, an outline, and getting that nailed down to being roughly 8 lines of dialogue, telling a story, making it funny, all having humor, good banter between the characters, all of that, taking all of that and really putting it into 8 sentences, which is not easy. And so I think it's a really interesting thing. And if any of you guys, any of my friends are animators or comic book artists, and you want to start doing this kind of thing too.
Autism Parenting 101 says, I got nothing on the subscribe.
Oh. Really? Okay, that's weird. Let's see. I don't know. It should pop up. All right. Well, listen, I got to get off here. We'll iron out all the stupid stuff. You should be able to subscribe to my channel, or if you're on the live page, underneath it should say subscribe. But we'll figure it out. If it doesn't show up for you tomorrow, we'll figure it out. Okay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll keep doing it. I'm very excited. The live streaming is really fun. Anyway, I gotta stop yapping, and we gotta take this poor puppy for her walk. Right there. Come here. You say goodbye too. Come here, you. Ah. Say goodbye. We'll go big screen. This is my there's my chatting screen. Say bye. Oh, she's so not happy. Oh, look at that face. Okay. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. And where's my stop streaming button? There it is. Okay, bye.